The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 397. Being recorded on June the 14th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus and Jesus walks out today. I'm joined by my friend from Little Big Ohio, the Mayo, Steve Williers here. Welcome back, Steve. Welcome.
Hey, Jesus. How's it going?
Hi. Yeah.
Hi.
You're back.
Little Big Hot Ohio. Oh my gosh, it's hot here today.
Little Big and Hot Ohio, huh? Mm.
Yeah, it's hot over here. It's I think tomorrow they said we're gonna have a record temp for that day in June, or whatever it is. It's gonna be like just under 100.
What?
Which I know you guys are probably like, oh, it's only 100. But yeah, it's different here.
Yeah, I mean, last year here it hit 117. That was like super hot, dude. That was like insanely hot. That was like the fucking, what the hell's going on? Kind of hot.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
like
woke
it
outside
rarely,
this morning and I'm like, holy crap, it's warm out.
it rarely hits that hot here. Yeah, last year it did. This year though, I mean, right now it's actually raining outside, dude. Like it's kind of like, it's like 60 degrees out there maybe.
Yeah, we had storms last night, so like it was really hot, and then it like huge storms come rolling through, and then it just stayed hot. Like the humidity was still high.
That's annoying. I hate when that happens.
I think yesterday, the whole entire day, the humidity was like 90-some%.
That's insane. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, no, Gunny Chief couldn't make it this week because Gunny is in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's probably a little warm there as well.
He's in Hawaii. He texted us this morning, right? He's telling us, I miss my flight. We're like, you fucking boomer, man. We're like, you show up to the mall like 3 hours before it opens and you wait outside and you miss your fucking flight. How does that happen, Gunny? Come on now. Literally, man. Like he shows up to the mall before it even opens and waits outside to do his mall walking or whatever he does. And then the airport, he can't show up 3 hours early for his flight to get to security. Come on.
Right.
Gunny.
I mean, you would think, this is Hawaii trip. You're paying
you
all
would
this money to go to Hawaii. You're planning all this out. You're planning for months to go to Hawaii, and you're late the day the flight goes. And then his comment right after that was probably the funniest thing to me. He was like, oh, well, at least I have 7 days to game. I'd be a little upset that I missed my flight to Hawaii. But then later on, they found another one later, so.
No big deal, guys. I have 7 days to game. No big deal.
Just missed out on Hawaii, that's all.
Yeah, well, it sucks. Yeah, and I'm sure his wife was like, no, motherfucker, we're going to get on a flight. You better find another one right away.
Right?
Yeah, anyways.
Speaking of, we
wow.
might have a guest here jumping in.
Oh, wow.
He's muted, though. Hold on 1 second.
You're on speaker. How do I get you off speaker?
I muted him actually last night. We were talking. There we go. He's back.
Hi, Gunny.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're automatically on speaker, apparently. Because I don't have headphones in. Just walking down to get a rental car for a couple days. I thought you guys recorded last night.
We're recording right now, actually. Welcome to the show, Gunny.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, anyway, so here's Gunny live from Hawaii, ladies and gentlemen. He just joined us. He's in a remote location right now. Gunny. How's Hawaii, Gunny?
It's pretty good so far. It's actually not even that hot. It's like 86 degrees. It doesn't feel like Australia or the Fiji Islands where it's like super muggy and humid. So I apologize for the noise, but...
See, Jesus, I told you, it's warmer in Ohio today than it is in Hawaii.
It is. Anyways, Gunny, we hope you have fun out there, but get off this damn call. We're trying to record here, Gunny.
I know. I'm going to get off because it's too loud. I don't have my earbuds with me. And
people are like, who is this guy talking to? Who the hell is he talking to right now? All right, Gunny, we'll have fun.
Catch you later. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get my car, go to the beach, go to Pearl Harbor, and come back and play some mobile games and some whatever disc I can get for the PS3.
xCloud.
Yeah.
Use the cloud. Use the cloud.
They have it.
What do you mean they have it? You have it on your phone. Use the fucking cloud.
I know, but I don't have a controller. I guess I can use touch controls.
Yeah, there you go.
Bring an Xbox controller with me.
Go buy one.
Go download it, Diablo Immortal as well. You can give us a review on that next week.
Yes, I tried to download that, but so now I have Wi-Fi. I can get it on. Yeah, we're good to go. All right, I'm going to go before I get lost here. I'm walking down to the Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
All right, Gunny, you take it easy, buddy. Later.
All right, later, guys.
Anyways, that was Gunny, ladies and gentlemen. He joined us. You can follow us on Twitter at _horrible gamers. Leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you can find our podcast, and you can leave a review. Leave us a review. We appreciate 5 stars. Also, join our Facebook group, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. That is a close group on Facebook. That means anything you post in there stays in there and only in there. And also, you can support the show with the monies by heading on over to Patreon at patreon.com/horrible gamers and give us a little bit of money every month. Like our friend Leahy, Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Sean Patrick, Chad, Henley, Porkchop Poo, Nipron, the best HGP host ever, Evan, a Big Girls, in plural, Big D Tanaka, Jonathan Titan, Big D Hall, and the first HGP patron, Bill Still, even the biggest D, Garner the second, the Elden Lord. Yeah. Anyways, guys, go support us with the monies over there. And you can also get yourself some nice HGP gear over at Redbubble. Head on over to Redbubble. Just search Horrible Gamers in the search bar. You'll see somebody wearing our shirt. You click on that guy or girl or they or them, whatever they identify as, a picture, I guess. You click on that, and you'll be able to buy over 80 items in that store, such as water bottles, a t-shirt, a hoodie, a clock, a mug, a little sack thing, whatever, an acrylic block, maybe some socks, whatever you want to find. It's all in there. Head on over to Redbubble, get yourself some gear. And also, big shout out and thank you to our friends over at Manscaped. You know, Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this isn't the 80s anymore, Mayo. You got to trim down there, you know. I don't know if you know this, Mayo, but you got to trim down there and keep them nice and shaven and clean cut. Okay, Mayo? Clean cut. But it won't cut you. It won't cut you, though, due to the patented skincare technology in the Manscaped razor machine lawnmower 3.0, which, Mayo, you can use in the shower. You can use it in the shower. And it is water resistant. You can use it in the shower. It is pretty nice. It actually has like a little flashlight on it and shit. Like it's actually really nice, ladies and gentlemen, and it works really well. I mean, I is supposed to be for your balls, but I don't know if you could use it somewhere else. But you could try. I don't know. If somebody buys one and wants to use it somewhere else, yeah, I guess you're more than welcome to try. I mean, I don't know how that would work. Maybe. But use it for your balls, gentlemen, okay? Use it for your balls. Anyways, head over to Manscaped.com. Use promo code HGP20. Get yourself 20% off any purchase on the site with free worldwide shipping. That is code HGP20. And, enjoy some nice products from Manscaped.com. Also, I want to give a quick thank you to our friend Phantom Meg for the intro and outro music to the podcast. You can find his music over on YouTube, Bandcamp, on Pandora, on Spotify, on Apple Music. Find them anywhere, Phantom Meg. And, Anyways, talk about video games real quick, Mayo. I really haven't played much this week, I'm going to be honest with you. I've only really played like one major game, and that is Battlefield 2042. So a big update came out this week. So the Battle Pass is finally now live. The Battle Pass. All right. So the Battle Pass works a lot like the Fortnite Battle Pass. I didn't have to buy the Battle Pass, so I don't know how much it is. I'm going to assume it's $5 or $10. That's my assumption. Or maybe it's free because it's Season 1. I don't know. It came
free with yours, right?
Yeah.
Did it come free with the gold or whatever? When you bought the gold version of
Battlefield,
you got the per season for free?
Yeah, and I believe if you beat the season, it's one of those things where like if you beat the season, it gives you enough of the battle points. I think they call them battle points or something, or battle bucks or whatever the fuck they call it. They have a currency in the game. It's called like battle points or battle something, or battle coins. I don't know, something battle. Okay, that's the word battle on it, Mayo, damn it. Okay, and it gives you enough of those to buy the other pass. So like if you get all 100 levels of the pass, you're pretty much going to be guaranteed that you can afford to buy the next pass. Now, you can use those coins or those whatever, that currency, to buy like a skin or something else in the store, but I haven't seen anything else in the store besides the Battle Pass. So I don't know if they're going to just stick to the Battle Pass or if they're going to eventually start adding more items, cosmetic items. I hope they're just cosmetic items, because I hate when a store adds an item that's like a gun, but you can only buy that gun. You know what I mean? You cannot like unlock it by playing it somehow. Yeah. You have to just buy that weapon, which kind of sucks. And I sort of understand it for like melee weapons, maybe like if they like add a knife, because you have a knife no matter what, right? But if you want that knife with that look, I guess, that skin on it or whatever, I guess I don't really mind that. But if you like say you add a new sniper rifle to the game, or you add a new assault rifle to the game, and then you have to tell me, oh, now you have to buy this assault rifle because the only way to get this assault rifle is to buy it. That's what I don't like. So hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully they listen, and they're listening to their fans, and they just stick to the Battle Pass, and they add, because they did add guns to the game with the Battle Pass mail. There is new weapons that you unlock, but you unlock them through progression within the Battle Pass, and you unlock them regardless if you bought the Battle Pass or not. So it's just like any other Battle Pass you can think of, PUBG, you can think of Call of Duty, you can think of Fortnite, where they have the free tiers and they have the paid tiers, like even like Apex or whatever, you know. So like if you get to level 10, no matter what, if you play the game, you're going to get to level 10 eventually, right? So you get to level 10, you unlock a certain amount of items, which is like a gun, a character, maybe, I think one's a helicopter. Like there's 2 new helicopters they added to the game. I haven't flown those helicopters. I did unlock one of them, the American one, but I haven't unlocked the Russian one, the ones that the Russians in the game use. So, but I mean, the American one is unlocked at level 8. The Russian one is unlocked at level 9. Liz, which is the new operator, she is pretty cool. She's like an engineer operator, so she has equipped a rocket launcher that she has on her, which has 2 missiles that you can fire. I mean, obviously you don't fire them at the same time. You fire one and then fire the other one, and then they kind of like recharges like all the other operators, where the little thing fills up again and then it'll recharge your shots or whatever. But what's cool about these missiles, Mayo, is that you can free fire them, so you fire them kind of like a javelin, so you can point it at something and just fire. It doesn't lock onto anything, but you control the missile once it leaves the launcher. You can fly it around and like turn it around a building, make it go into a building. So that's kind of cool. And the missile has it doesn't have like an old unlimited range. There is a limit to it, like how far you can shoot it or whatever before it blows up or runs out. I think it runs out of fuel. But it does have like a boost mode, so you press the boost, like I think on the keyboard it's shift, and when you do that, it'll boost the missile, and you can kind of use that to catch up to like helicopters or whatever, you know, like if you're trying to shoot down a jet or something and the fucker's flying by at full speed and you're trying to catch up to it, you can use that boost to try to catch the jet. I mean, I will say though that when you use the boost, like you cannot really turn the missile very well, like it's fucking going fast, so like it's hard to turn it once you boost it. You know, when it's not boosted, you can turn it pretty good. But once you boost that shit, you better hope that fucker stays in a straight line, because there's been a few times where, like, I was about to hit the fucking Osprey, you know, like the transport helicopter, and I was about to hit him, and he just moved so slightly where, like, the missile flew, like, right past it. Like, I'm like, fuck! And then you gotta wait for it to blow up, or it blows up, and then she, like, you put down your launcher, then you grab them, you pull out the fucking thing, then you put the other missile into it. So it takes a few seconds to reload. Yeah.
That was my next question. Was if it was like since she had two of them, if it was like an instant reload or
no,
or
it's not an instant
animation in between again.
Yeah, there's an animation in between. It's not super long, but it's like at least a second or two. So like you have to sit there and watch her pull it out and put the other one in, lock it in or whatever, and then you could aim and then shoot again. It's not very long, but when you're in the heat of a moment, you know, when a helicopter's right there, you want to shoot that fucker down right away. And as soon as you shoot the first missile, they could kind of see where you shot it from, you know, because they can follow the smoke trail where the missile came. And now they're turning around to come and shoot at you. And you're trying to fucking reload and hide, and you're trying to reposition, and it's fucked, and it gets kind of crazy. So, yeah, it's kind of...
I run into all the time with the last character on the assault class when you had the rocket launcher. I would come across a tank, you know, and I'd hit it. I'd pull out the old rocket launcher, hit it, and it'd damage it. But the tank would know where I'm at that point, and I'm like trying to hide behind a little crate, you know. And it's this big, long, automated, you know, reload sequence. And you're like, okay, hurry, reload. Next thing you know, like the tank just blows up the whole area, and you're just dead.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, if I could just reload faster, you know.
I totally get that. So yeah, that's kind of how this is, where the reload animation does take like a few seconds or a second or two, but the character is kind of cool. I think that ability is a pretty cool ability to be able to control your missile. It kind of scares away the helicopters a lot more now. They're easier to scare away now, because the other option you had was to just use the anti-air Stinger missiles, right? But those take like a few seconds to lock on or whatever. And then if they fire flares, they can just sit there for a few more seconds and take off, you know? And that's kind of like shitty because, you know, with this one, you can kind of avoid the flares. Even if they pop the flares, you can kind of bypass them almost and get around them.
Yeah, because you have control, so it's not going to chase them.
So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I like the character Liz. And the new map, so the new map is kind of really cool, Mel. It's a very, it's a map based in Canada, so it's a Canadian map. Ooh. And so this map is kind of like on the side of like a cliff or a mountain kind of thing. And it has like 3 or 4 bases on the top of the mountain. It has like 2 bases inside the middle of the mountain, like some tunnels. And then on the cliff, on the bottom of the cliff, there's another 2 or 3, 4 bases down there. So there's a bunch of objectives on top, objectives inside the mountain, and objectives on the bottom. They put zip lines everywhere in that one, so you can zip line everywhere, use these zip lines to get to the top, to the bottom. And one of the coolest characters that I use in that mode is Sundance, which is the chick that has she has the what you call it, the tracker,
the glider
grenades. She has the glider, but she also has the tracker grenades or whatever, you know, like they lock onto like enemy vehicles, or she has the cluster grenade or whatever. I like her in that map because, you know, you have the ability to scare off vehicles with your anti-vehicle grenade or whatever, but you also have this cluster grenade that you can equip when you're inside the mountain in these like tight corridors and you're fighting through like a hallway to get into a room. You can throw these cluster grenades down into the room, you know, and push everybody back from the door. So that's kind of cool.
I remember playing with you that one time, and we kept dying, and we were like pushed into this one hallway, and somebody kept using these cluster grenades, and it was killing like large groups of us at a time.
Yeah,
you know, that thing is so deadly.
Yeah, that thing is super powerful, super powerful. But yeah, man, like I've really been having a blast with that map. That map is really cool, especially with that character also, because she does have the wingsuit thing or whatever, like a flying squirrel kind of. And so you fly around, you can deploy your chute from the top of the mountain and kind of fly around the whole top, you know, and just kind of land on top of things and kind of land on... Sometimes you can like position yourself where you land like on the side of the mountain, like on a rock. And now you have kind of like a cool sniping spot, you know, like where you can see down on everybody, and it's kind of hard for them to spot you up there, you know. Eventually you do get spotted because of your lens, your scope glare or whatever. The little, you know, like the little thing they add to all video games where the sniper scope, you know, it glares a little bit on the sunlight. So people are eventually going to spot you, but for like the first few kills, you know, you can scare people off pretty good because they don't know where the hell you're shooting from, and you're just fucking taking them out with the sniper rifle. And like I learned that one of the sniper rifles is a one-hit kill now, where like pretty much as long as you land a good like torso shot, no matter in the back or the front, or a headshot, obviously, it's a one-hit kill. Like, it's just automatic, boom, one-hit kill. Like, now if you shoot him in the leg or something, and maybe it won't kill them, but it will damage him quite a bit, and you'll probably get an assist, or like you'll get a kill by assist kind of type thing. Because now they also added that to the game where, like, if you damage someone and somebody else kills that person, you also get kind of rewarded for that kill. So, like, it kind of counts as a kill for you as well. So, like, I know they had that in previous Battlefield games, and this one they didn't have it in the beginning, but then people were kind of complaining, like, well, man, like, I'm sitting there and suppressing the hallway, you know, and I'm damaging people, and these guys come in and they'll just kind of clean up after all the damage I did, and then they get all the kills, and I'm like, I just got a bunch of assists, which is kind of lame. But now you kind of get like you get the kill XP as well. You got like 50 XP or 70 XP. I think it's based on how much damage you did to each character that the person killed. So there's that. Like I said, there's new vehicles, new helicopters. I haven't tried them out, but they look kind of cool, man. They look futuristic, kind of. They look like, so they don't look like the helicopters that are in the game now. They look kind of like, or the previous ones that were in the game. They look a little more futuristic. And I don't know if they're one-seater helicopters, because they kind of look like they're a one-person helicopter. So maybe you're in there by yourself instead of having like other people fly around with you or whatever. Because in the regular attack, like the Apache helicopters or whatever, you know, you have you and then you have the gunner's seat or whatever. And this new one, I think it's just you in the cockpit. I might be wrong though. I haven't tried it because I don't know. So don't quote me on that, but I don't know, man. I might be wrong, but it looks cool. So I look to try that out. And yeah, like Brink was saying that when he tried it out, you know, before, you know, I would always tell you guys that Brink was having a lot of issues with the game where he was getting like screen flashes or screen freezing or screen just stuttering. You know, it wasn't running very well for him. And he said all of a sudden with the new Battle Pass update or whatever, that the game has really been performing like really smoothly for him. He said it's like really good now. Like it runs really well, and it's no stuttering anymore, no flashing screen, nothing, no weird shit going on, you know, which is kind of a cool thing to see, you know, because other people may have been experiencing the same thing that he was because they have the same kind of hardware or whatever on their computer. But yeah, Battlefield, man. I'm excited to play more of it. I was thinking about that today because I'm like, man, I wonder how many days do I have in the Battle Pass? I was just thinking that today at work. I'm like, how many days do I have in this fucking Battle Pass to get to level 100, you know? Because there's 100 levels, and when you get to the level 100, you unlock like a bunch of special skins for like the characters and shit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that. I think Liz gets like a special like veteran like premium. I think they call it like a premium skin or something. It looks kind of cool. It looks like super cool, kind of, compared to the shit she's wearing when you first get her as a character.
Do you think it's brought in more players since the Battle Pass has come out?
I do
like
actually.
People are coming back to the game, and it seems like it's a better populated server.
Yeah. So I was playing it, and I was playing this mode which was that new map 24/7. And there was a few times where I got in it and it said there was no players in the lobby. They were waiting for players. So I don't know if like DICE for some reason had maybe they spun up a lot of servers or a lot of like matches for this one new map, and I happened to get into an empty one, and then I had to wait for like a couple minutes for it to add players so it could start. I don't know if that was the case or what, but I mean, the people in the chat that were chatting in the game, all of them seemed to like the new update. They were all saying like the new update is kind of cool. They did a pretty good job with this update. They've added some stuff that we like. A lot of like the sentiment around it was that the game is kind of good now. Not perfect, and it's not Battlefield 4, right? It's not even at this point. It's not, but it's getting there. Like you could tell that they have like the foundation kind of, and they could really make it great. They just have to keep chugging along with it. Now, I don't know if you know this, if it's in the news or not, but one of the creative directors of the game, or I think it was the director of the game over at DICE, they had just announced recently that they are going down to a skeleton crew on Battlefield 2042. He said that the crew at DICE, or developer, the team, the main developer, DICE in Sweden, they're moving over to work on a new game. When everyone's assuming that that's Battlefield 6, which could, It makes sense, right? They probably are working on a Battlefield 6 now, so...
Yeah, they probably had 6 in the works already, like, as soon as 42 launched, you know?
Even before it launched.
Thinking ahead, yeah.
So they did announce that they're breaking down the 2042 team to a skeleton crew, and that they will be focused on the updates, the maps, and whatever new content comes out for the Battle Pass.
The Battle Pass content, probably.
Yeah, so
which is probably a lot of work in itself, really. I mean,
yeah,
we think of what it is because you say you do 100 levels of stuff. You know, if you want to give a piece of content away for every level, you got to sit and create 100 items in game every pass. So you got to come up with stuff and ideas, and then draw it and render it. And I'm sure, like, a skin, you know, probably isn't the hardest to come up with, but you know, it probably has it has to meet certain criteria, you know. Like if you're a person designing a skin, you probably can't just make one. You probably have bosses you got to pass it on to, and it has to get okayed. And so I could see how some of that could take some time and it'd take a little bit of a crew. Hopefully they can just keep doing some updates on the game as well, you know, and be able to focus on that and not just the season pass content.
Yeah, so do I. And I hope that they're able to also make like a new maps and whatnot, you know, like. That would be cool.
No, I did get to play with you earlier than this week.
You did?
We got to play something, and I finished up. I was still running my trial on it, so it let me use this trial this whole time. And it was kind of disappointing because I was actually really getting the groove of it and kind of the flow of things at that point. We'd played for a couple of days in a row, I think. And I'm like, I have a couple hours left on my trial. And I remember we were sitting there playing, and I had a really good game going. And all of a sudden, the game just like shuts off, and it just straight up auto for it. It didn't tell me my trial was over or anything like that. But then when I went back to the origin store, you know, it was like buy the game. So, which I have not bought it yet. I should go ahead and pick it up. I was really starting to enjoy it. It grew on me a lot. Like you said, it's no Battlefield 4, but it's still good. And there's still enough people playing, and the game just felt fresh. And it's just kind of fun just running around and just random engagements with people. You're running along, and you find them snipers that are hiding in the roof. You know, you're trying to take them out, and you kill one or two of them, and you're going along. Or like I said, if you find a tank, you know, you pull out your rocket launcher, you hit it once, it may kill you. But like at least you get the assist or whatever later on if they take it out or whatever. Or you're trying to run back over there again and try and take it out because you want to get your revenge and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun getting in the vehicles and stuff. But still, like I said, I wish it had more destruction. You know, it doesn't have that typical Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 5 or even destruction. But you know, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. That's probably, you know, what we have is what we're going to get. And you said too they opened up more maps, right? It had some more of the classic maps, if I remember right. Like you were saying, like in the last episode.
Yeah. So they didn't open up the map. They added. So remember how the server browser, I forget what the fuck they call it. What do they call it? Whatever they call it. The server fucking bullshit. So they added a new playlist in there, which is called Battlefield Exodus, and that's it combines like new maps and old maps. So it'll take the Battlefield 2042 maps, the Battlefield 3 maps. I think they're Battlefield 3 maps, and it'll bring those into the playlist, and you can play as the new operators in that mode. The only downside to that is that in that mode, it's not 128 players. It drops down to 64 only, which is a kind of shitty. But at the same time, I feel like with 64 players, you have a better chance of getting more kills and being really good in a vehicle. Like what I hate about the 64 player mode is that the vehicles become like really OP, especially like the Russian helicopter, like the transport helicopters or the Osprey. Those things become kind of like unkillable, man. Like really hard to take them out, because what I find is usually that like there's like me and maybe like another guy on the map or two other people on the map that are trying to take these fucking things out, you know, and they're just coming in and they'll wipe out a whole team in an objective, like in seconds. They'll just come in with the guns and just wipe everybody out in like literally like 5 seconds, everyone's dead. And then people jump out of the helicopter and cap the objective, and the helicopter's just hovering there. And you're trying to lock onto it, and then you lock onto it, and you shoot your missile, and then it pops flares. Then you can't lock onto it for like another 4 seconds after it pops its flares. It doesn't lock on again. So you got to sit there and keep aiming at it to try to lock on again and try to get another fire and like another shot off. And it's just kind of too long for that, you know. And like I feel like the vehicles are really OP. And even like the tanks will come in and they'll just fuck everybody up. And like not a lot of people to carry the rocket launcher, so it feels like the vehicles are really OP in the 64 mode. Where in the 128 player mode, I found that the vehicles are more. It's easier to take them out because there's a lot more players focused on taking them out too. So you got a lot of people that are just working with you to take these fucking things out. So maybe you'll see another guy shoot his missile at the helicopter pops his flares, and now you have to wait. But as soon as you get a lock on, boom, you fucking fire your missile, and then another person will fire their missile, and then you guys take it out because you both, like I just got hit like 3 or 4 times with missiles, and it'll just go down right away. Whereas in the 64 player mode, it's just kind of hectic. But I do enjoy those maps, like the old maps. It kind of has like a cool aesthetic to them. They're more detailed, in my opinion, than the current new maps. Like the new maps feel very barren to me. They feel very. They feel too clean for battle, like a war zone. You know, like everything looks too nice. Everything looks too clean to be a war zone. It just does.
I can see that.
You know, it doesn't feel like you're in a battle area. Like yeah, Caspian Border and No Shark Canals, the maps that are in the other playlist. Like, yeah, at first it's all nice, but then like once the match is like halfway through, dude, everything's fucked up. Like buildings are fucking blown up, fences are taken out, fucking trees are blowing up, shit's everywhere, you know, flying everywhere. It's kind of hectic. Where like the Battlefield 2042 maps, I feel like there's really not a lot of destruction. Because there's no like, the destruction is just missing. Where Battlefield 4 had a lot of destruction, and Battlefield 5 had destruction, and Battlefield 1, even those World War II and World War I games, they all had like a lot of destruction in them, dude, you know? And like they had the little thing where you can, like I don't know if you remember Battlefield 5, but they had that thing where you could build up like little defenses and shit. Like you can pull out a little hammer.
Oh, yeah.
You throw down sandbags, and that was kind of cool, right? Because that kind of build up your little, like if somebody blow up a wall, you can run up to that wall now and like throw sandbags over it, you know, and build like another little wall in front of it to kind of block it, you know. So that's kind of cool. And they kind of took all that out. They got rid of all that. So it kind of sucks that they did, because that stuff was kind of cool. And I was like there was a few matches in Battlefield 5 where all I did most of the entire fucking match was just sit at a base and like rebuild everything, dude. I would just build everything. I would put down barbed wire, fucking those little anti-tank fucking things or whatever. So yeah, I kind of miss all that. Anyway.
Do you think the new operator will help these old, or you were saying like with the 64 players in the match, with the vehicles being OP, whatever, that new operator will help that because they'll have to waste those flares and stuff against those grenades and stuff like that. So maybe they'll make that a little better.
Maybe. I don't know. I hope it does. I like that they added this operator, though, because we kind of needed this operator. Like, vehicles in 2042 feel a little overpowered overall. Like, they're just the flares and shit. It's just very OP, dude. Like, this is very hard to take down a helicopter in that fucking game. It really is. Mm-hmm. Like, if a pilot is really good and he's able to, like, time everything where he can fly away, like, and just take off on you, and there's no other plane or jet trying to shoot at him and take him out, too. Like, it's really hard to take these fuckers down, man, you know? It really is. So I am kind of glad we have that operator. But yeah, anyways. I enjoy playing Battlefield.
Pretty much just Battlefield?
Oh man, I want to say yes. I was going to try some Ready or Not. I don't know if the update came out yet. I'm going to check again this week, see if, I think by this week the update will be out for it. I think they were talking about they pushed it back a little bit because they wanted to make sure it be right. But Ready or Not Mayo is going to get a huge update coming up here. This update will include new like a new crackhead in one of the houses or whatever. It's like this like new character models for the bad guys and the civilians in the game. You know how like everyone kind of looks the same kind of in the maps, like the civilians and whatnot. Like sometimes you can't tell if somebody's a bad guy or a good guy because they're all dressed the same. Well, in Ready or Not, they're kind of saying that now they're gonna add new characters to it. And remember that map that was like the test map where like you were in like that mansion that was kind of like in like Malibu or something. Like it was like that big mansion that had like 4 levels to it, and there was like a birthday party going on. That was like a test level because there was like no textures on the wall. That one actually now has art. Like they put all the textures into the game. Like you can see the you can see the walls, the buildings finished inside. They added a new map, or actually the club map has now also got textures added to the club as well. So now the club is kind of finished. They said that the character models are still not done and the characters are still being worked on, but the map itself is done. They said the map is done, the textures are done on the map, and they've added new maps to the game. So it says here that they added a map called the Ridgeline Mayo, which is a former USIA analyst, has a warrant for his arrest over the suspected murder of 5 police officers. And so yeah, he's in a police department. So he went into a police department and he shot at police officers. And so you're gonna have to shoot this guy in a police department. So go in there, and assuming he's an active shooter situation or something. Another map is called the Hospital, and so yeah, it's active shooter in a hospital. So good luck with that one, they said. And another one is called Agency. This is one of the poorest neighborhoods in the city, they said. And it's called The Row. And as a SWAT team, you're going to be serving a search warrant. And so, yeah, it's going to be an illicit pornography ring that you're taking down. So I'm assuming it's like the other one where you're saving the prostitutes or the human traffickers or whatever in the other map. I'm assuming it's like that, but this one will be like in a shitty neighborhood, I guess. I don't know. They also said they added cloth physics to the game in certain levels, Mayo. So curtains, beds, beads, plastic covers will now be able to be interacted with and walked through. And they also added clothing to the AI, like clothing physics to the AI clothes. They also added new SWAT officers. So they got a Ranger Green SWAT uniform now. They added new IR strobes that you can put on your helmet and on your like shirt and on your vest. So when you're wearing like the night vision goggles, you'll have like little strobe lights on them that can detect.
Be helpful.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your friendly zone.
Yes, exactly. Because there's been a few times, right, where me and you have shot at each other, or you shot me, or you shot one of our guys because they came through the other door and we were going in through the other door, and somehow there was a miscommunication and we saw a bad guy in there because he started shooting at us. So we freak out and we start shooting in there. And then the other SWAT team comes around the corner and we fucking shoot him because we're like, oh, fuck, dude. Yeah. We thought you were...
Much time you don't have. So
you respond, so. You literally have like a 0.3 seconds to fucking respond, like shoot the guy or not. And yeah, so I think IR strobes are going to be pretty cool. They said they added new helmets with improved details and modeling. They added a new night vision goggle mesh to it. So I'm assuming they added like some kind of new, like maybe the white phosphorus. Maybe they added a new type of phosphorus to the thing. And they also added a SWAT anti-stab vest. So, because there's now characters, I don't know if you noticed in the update before, knives, right? But there's people that do have knives and they run at you with the fucking knife. So they added an anti-stab vest, I guess. I don't know. I think I would rather take the armor over the anti-stab vest. Yeah. For
those that don't know, basically you can choose before you go into the level what kind of loadout you have. So you could choose the anti-stab vest or like armor, like Jesus was saying. And I think there's 2 different kinds of armor, and they're like a heavy armor and a lighter armor.
Yeah, there's a heavy one and a light one. Yeah, and I'm assuming that the anti-stab vest will probably be like a lighter one compared to the heavy armor. You can also wear a ballistic mask, so like if you get shot in the face, the mask will sometimes stop like It won't stop like high caliber weapons, but it'll stop like maybe a pistol if they shoot you in the face. Like it'll kind of save your ass a little bit there. They added new vehicles to the game. Mayo cars can now be interacted with in many ways. Side mirrors can be shut off. Glass can be broken and shot through. Airbags will be deployed and can be deployed. And tires can be shot out, which will lower the car to the side that the tire gets shot out from, you know. So that's kind of cool. They also added, says here, vehicles are safest behind the wheels of the car and behind the engine block. So I'm assuming the bullets will rip through the car or whatever, you know. So there's that. They also added new vehicle types that have been added to the game, such as a truck, new police cars, a private ambulance, various sedans and trucks and whatever. There's also destructible props now, so lamps, water coolers, vending machines, chip bags, glass bottles, plates, arcade machines, fire extinguishers, and balloons can all be shot at and destroyed, man, and many more.
Balloons, of all things.
Well, remember that one level has that birthday party, so there's balloons everywhere in that level.
Yeah.
And also, you will learn a lot about the world that you're in through environmental storytelling. So they're going to have like more details of like the world that you're in all the maps, you know. And flashlights are now brighter with the wider cone and no longer use the IES system. You can see that some doors can no longer be locked because they don't have a lock on them. And civilians in an active shooter situation will run towards your spawn once they are in sight of a cop and within a safe space. So that's kind of cool. So if you run into a room and there's no shooter in there and you're trying to get people out, and they'll just run away towards the safe area. You know, that's kind of neat. So yeah, and so they fixed a bunch of stuff as well. And I'm excited for this fucking update. I really am. It looks so fucking cool. You can now wow, this is kind of cool, man. Kind of like realistic here, man. So once you shoot somebody, say you shoot a bad guy and they go down, you can actually, after you report them that they're dead, you can handcuff them. You can handcuff them after you report them they're dead, or because some AI, they said, will now fake being dead.
I was getting ready to say they're going to have you fake.
Yes, they said that some AI will like if you shoot at them and you don't hit them, they'll act like you hit them and they'll fall to the ground like they're dead. So you have to now report them and then handcuff them to make sure you secure like the gun and shit.
Like one more thing you have to do now. Now it's like you got to tag the body, you got to tag the evidence. Now you got to handcuff the body.
Well, remember, like in the last one, they added the thing to where if the guy was giving up or the woman or whatever, if they were giving up, like they could reach into their waistband really fast and just pull out another gun and fucking start shooting, right?
Right.
So like, or they could pull out a knife and run at you really fast or whatever, you know, like they could do all that. Or like even if you're walking up to them, they can like all of a sudden pull out a gun and just start fucking shooting at you. So it kind of makes sense that people would play dead, you know, and you have to handcuff them. Make sure they're not fucking going to come behind you and kill you when you run past them or whatever. They've also added blood splatter when explosive vests explode. They added gore. They've added electronic doors with key cards. Also, they've added new small arms protective insert plates to stop rounds from killing the players. These are broken into 3 different types of plates that you can put into your armor, Mayo. So now you can customize your armor even further. You can add Kevlar plates to your armor. You can add ceramic plates or steel plates. These will increase your protective ability, and they will also add weight to your armor. Armor plates will affect your acceleration and deceleration speed when you're walking and running. Your top speed will always be the same as other players, but you will not be able to stop as fast as other players or turn as fast as other players. And armor plates, you can now customize it, Mayo, to where you can isolate where you want the armor plate. So you can put it only on the front of your chest, on your front and your back, or your front and your back and the side of your body. That's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And you can now also cycle between grenades by tapping the grenade key. That's kind of neat. It says here, the improved AI can now blend more clearly from a ragdoll state into being active, standing up, or being arrested, and all that kind of stuff. And they authorized to use a lot of stuff, dude. There's just so many fixes to this game. They added like a lot of like shit to this game. Like when you
put a lot of work into it.
Says here, AI will now try to commit suicide in certain points. Like if you corner them in a room and they know they're fucked, they will try to put the gun to their head and kill themselves. During this time, you cannot use force. You are supposed to use less lethal force. I mean, you can use lethal force, but try to use less lethal force. You can no longer use force or unauthorized force when an AI is hiding or exiting a hiding spot. Also, you will get unauthorized use of force when AI is getting up from a ragdoll state. And so a bunch of shit. And also they increased the bomb vest damage and they increased the grenade trap damage. So a lot of stuff and new graphics and shit. So I'm really excited, dude. Like really excited.
Yeah, it's not like they've added a lot to it, so
yeah,
definitely have to get back in there and check it back out again.
I'm excited. It says here that that all the suspects have a new dynamic cover system, Mayo, where they will try to hide behind shit and they can actually blind fire at you now, like around the corner of something or behind a couch, or like they'll like lay down and shoot at you from under a bed and shit. They can peek out from low of cover. They can blind fire. They can return fire with accuracy, which they've always been able to do that. And they will like switch positions and try to stay in cover as they're switching positions. So if like they're like going down a hallway or into another room or whatever, they will try to switch positions. It says here the suspects will suicide or fake their suicide. And
how do you? Wow.
Yeah, it says here they will fake their suicide. So maybe they'll act like they shot themselves in the head and they'll fall to the ground, but then they'll be playing fake dead or whatever and come at you. And suspects will also have armor the same way you do. And they will have different types of armor as well. So yeah. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy, Mayo. They added new stuff to the suspects as well. Some of them will be smoking cigarettes. Some of them will be taking a piss. Some of them might be texting on their phone, talking or taking selfies. Some of them might be looking at a picture on the wall. Some of them may be making drugs in a drug den. Some of them may just be sitting on a couch when you walk into the door. So they really like did a lot of shit to like, this is a huge update. Holy fuck. Yeah, so anyways, I'm really excited. We got to play this, Mayo. We got to definitely play this, dude. Yeah, I'm fucking excited. Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's Ready or Not updates, ladies and gentlemen. And but yeah, man, I really haven't played much else besides like those games or whatever. Like, there's just really nothing to play this week, man. Like,
I know, I'm kind of the same way. Like myself, I played quite a bit of Battlefield with you as well. We've got a couple of nights free together, and was able to get in there. And like I said, I was having a really good time with it. Very low level compared to everybody in the game. I'm over here like level like 13, and everybody else is like level like 70, 80, 90, and prestige or whatever you want to call it. And I'm like working my way up through there. It'd be kind of interesting too, like being this low level. If I pick up the battle pass in the game, I should get like ranking up on the guns as I'm unlocking the actual in-game guns and the battle pass stuff. So I might even be unlocking skins I don't have guns to yet. You know what I mean? That might be a little bit interesting to see how that goes. But really enjoying it. I had a lot of fun the time I played. Like I said, I was really getting into more of a groove of things, how it played, and just felt way more comfortable playing through it and just having more fun as I was going through. The more we put into it. Pretty much the other things we've been playing like around here is Rogue Legacy 2. Still been playing that. The game is no Dead Cells. I'm not as hooked on Rogue Legacy 2 as I was like on Dead Cells. Even though they're both roguelikes, and it has some cool elements like each person, every time you die, you're like a descendant of the person before, and they'll have random traits. And so like sometimes the random trait will be like your character's colorblind. and so the level won't have any color to it at all. It'll be just black and white. You're like, oh, okay, so you'll play through the game black and white. Well, there's this one like trait, like the person, that's all he sees is like color trails. Well, anything that's moving in the game leaves like a rainbow effect, a color behind it. So the game, like the levels, like all this stuff's moving around. There's like a little rainbow behind it, a color. And there's like this color all over the screen. It can be very distracting. So like you have that. Some of them have just all these different traits. I can't remember what there is. There's a lot. There's ones with money. There's ones like vegan. If your character is a vegan, when a health drop will come, will be like meat, like a typical old school side scroller. And if you touch it and you pick it up by accident, it actually does damage to you instead of giving you health. So it has a reverse effect. So like if your character is a vegan, you got to remember not to pick anything up, any health items up, and stuff like that. So the game, like it has like these portals. So you go through the first level and you grinding through it, and you can kill the first boss. And I did that, and then you can make it to the second world. The problem was like you would make it into the second world, so you'd go so far and you would die, and you'd have to play through all the first level again, minus the first boss, and then before you got into the second level, and then you kind of progress from there. But once you meet this pizza girl and you pay her the money that she wants, she unlocks the second portal basically to the second level. So now I can start right away in the game and go to the second level and just, concentrate on that and not have to sit there and find my way through that first level and just waste time in that level, I guess, per se, because there's nothing new for me to find in any of those levels. Only in the second area now is only the items that I really care about. So you can warp right over to that now with that, but that level is like a movement-based level, Jesus. Like it's kind of frustrating sometimes because there's all this like open space underneath you. It's like water, but basically if you fall, you just die instantly. And they have like these lanterns or like these little orbs that are like in the sky, and you basically can do like a jump attack, and you have to hit it, and when you hit it, it lets you like jump again. So you have to like time it. So it's like, okay, you can jump and then you hit it and you jump up a little higher, then you hit the next one. And then you have a dash attack as well. You can like dash across the screen, and then that little spin attack will reset and you can bounce off another thing. So you may have to dash, hit the next one, spin again to get more height, dash, and like just work your way across spots on the level and try to time it. And then if you take any damage, it
resets you.
Knocks you back. It knocks you back. So then you fall down to your death, and and it takes you all the way back to the beginning of that ledge, and you jump off of. You're like, oh damn it! So like you got to try and do it again, and then so it can be a little tricky at times, like in those areas, just the maneuvering and stuff, and so like it just I don't know. I feel like the combat and just the general play style of it, I like Dead Cells way better. Some of the combat still in Rogue Legacy, if you do a dash attack and you like say you're too close to the enemy and you do a dash, you will dash right into him and you'll take damage. Like no matter what, if you come in contact with an enemy, you'll take damage even though you're doing a dash attack into him. So you gotta like make sure your spacing is correct. So you gotta kind of watch your spacing, and I mean you can also do a critical attack if you can time your dashing right, the distance where you stop just before the character you're attacking and then attack. You can do like a crit, but it's so difficult because the movement and stuff, and there's so many traps around and ledges that you can fall off of it. It can make it harder, and it can go sour real quick. Like you can take multiple hits. Sometimes it feels cheap. Like you get those levels when you spawn into, because it's a side scroller, you will spawn into that area, and there's already like a projectile flying at you as you spawn in, and you have to react to it like right away. Sometimes it's like it's setting you up for failure sometimes. So you gotta like, oh okay, back out. And then if you leave that screen and you come back, say if you go too far to the left or too far to the right, and it loads the next screen, if you go back to it, all the enemies reset that are still alive. The ones you killed stay gone, but all the drops that they dropped, like the money and the items that they drop, are all gone. So you gotta be careful not to like leave the area. The good thing is if you get knocked back out of the edge, if you're by the edge of the map and you get hit and it like knocks you back, it won't like knock you back to the next screen. It like keeps it there, and it won't like reset it that way. But if you accidentally back up too far and back out of it, it resets everything, and you're kind of like, oh crap, you have to go back in, you lose all the money you dropped and stuff like that. So it's a good game. It's just, it's got its unique elements. There's a lot of stuff that you can unlock, but definitely no dead cells. I don't know. It's good. I can see it being a Game Pass game here pretty soon. I don't know if I really want to pay $25 for it when you have better alternatives like Dead Cells. You can buy that game, I think, for probably less than 20. But it's not bad. I've been playing that on the Xbox in the living room on the OLED TV. Trying to think. I fired up Sniper Elite 5, Jesus. Under your recommendations, we talked about playing it the one night. I downloaded it and installed it. Played through the first level, and I just kind of messed around. I don't know. I didn't go into it like wanting to be all serious with it, so I just kind of just ran through like where it gives you a little bit of the tutorial part. And the very first time, I don't know if you had this problem, Jesus, because me and you have very similar hardware. Like I have a little bit bigger CPU than you do, but we have the same graphics card and stuff. I loaded into the game, and the very first part, like you're on a boat, and it tells you to shoot out the two lights. The game is running fine, and then all of a sudden I go to scope in and shoot out the first light, and the game just drops to like 7 frames. I'm like, what on earth just happened here? Like it's like a slideshow. So thinking maybe there's some kind of error in the game, or there maybe something was running in my computer in the background or something like that. So I actually stopped the game and relaunch it, and same exact problem. As soon as I go to pull up the scope of the gun, the game is running like 80, 90 frames on ultra settings and stuff, and it just drops to like 7. I'm like, what the heck? So I had to like mess with the settings, and I had to turn something off. I can't remember what it was. It was a really weird name. Like it was some kind of I've never seen it described this way in game settings before. It's something to do with the shadow details and something else in parallel. So it's supposed to do 2 things at once in parallel, and I don't know why, but I turned it off, and it never had that problem since. So I don't know why it was causing a problem, or because I have plenty CPU. If it's a CPU like based application or what, where it would be more CPU heavy, where I have an i9, so that shouldn't be the issue. And my 2080 Super shouldn't be an issue. But as soon as I turn that off, the game runs a constant 180 frames now. So I was able to go through and play it. And I just did that first area. You come off that boat, and you kind of going up this hill and taking people out. And I was not being stealthy at all. I was just going through and just coming up to them, either just shooting them, or I would snipe some of them. But like if there's a group, I'd snipe 1 or 2 and then just go in with a like a machine gun or whatever, and just shoot a couple guys or whatever and stuff. But I did see what you were talking about last week, Jesus. How like there's it's kind of a field with dirt roads, and there'd be like a set of bushes along that dirt road, and you'd walk up to it, and you couldn't walk through it. You like had to walk down the road along parallel with the bushes until you could get around them. You couldn't just like walk through, and just have that access to the environment. Like you would think, like you were saying, you're a sniper. You would just, go through those bushes. And then
you want to hide in the bushes.
Yeah, you even hide. I mean, there was some bushes you can hide in. There's like tall grass you can hide in and stuff like that. But these bushes are like along the road, and then basically they're just there as a barrier. Like you gotta like walk around them, or I guess you could probably hide from the enemy behind them. I guess you can't run through them. I guess they're not gonna run through them.
Yeah.
But that was kind of weird. But it seemed like it'd be an entertaining enough of a game. I've never played one of the Sniper Elite series.
I actually played a little bit of the first level as well the other day, and I was playing it, and like I was just running around fucking shooting everything and everyone, and like
that's what I was doing. Like, I didn't have any regard to being stealthy. I was just shooting.
I was just like, fuck you guys. Boom, fucking taking everybody out with my sniper, dude. And like there was a guy that was running towards the alarm, and I'm like, I don't care if he sounds the alarm. Like, what's the big deal? Like, these guys are gonna come looking for me. Oh, okay. Like, I'll just shoot them all. Like what's the big deal? Like, I wasn't even scared of the dude running towards the alarm, because I'm like, all right, I'm pretty sure everyone knows I'm here. I just shot like 20 people before I got to here.
And you're using a sniper rifle that probably
it's loud as shit.
Noise, right? It's not like it's silence or anything. And you're just shooting guys left and right. And...
Yeah, or you're using your machine gun, or like the pistol is silenced. But I mean, I rarely use the pistol. I was only using the pistol when somebody was by themselves, like just walking around like a little area by themselves. But once I got to like the main open area, I was like, fuck it. Go in here.
Yeah, that's the way I was. I was like John Wick. I just went there. I wasn't crouching or I wasn't like walking. So I'm just walking through it and finding them. You know how it shows on the map? It's like a little yellow circle area. Kind of shows you where they're at. I'm just going toward them. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going in. Wouldn't even look for them. Wouldn't even try to, like identify them with the binoculars. How it kind of like tags them. And you can see where they're at. And you can see their walking pattern and see where they're at. And you can stealthily, like take them out or stuff like that. I just went in there just guns blazing. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to shoot this guy. I'm just going to shoot this guy. Finally, they did send enough like reinforcements after me, and I ended up I took some damage. There's a guy like coming from two different directions shooting at me, so I'm like, okay, so I kind of take hiding in this one like building, and then they like kind of had me surrounded. There's guys from both sides of the building, and there wasn't any doors or windows in this building, so like they kind of rushed in and ended up getting shot in like the hamstring or something like that. What a way to die. The final bullet that killed me was like in the hand, in the leg.
Damn.
But I was like, okay, I've had enough of this, and that's pretty much for the most part. That's all I've been playing. We've been playing a little bit of 2K. My son has on the Xbox. So if you see me playing that, my account, he's been playing that. He I can't remember what he named his character. It was something goopy. It was like Kringlets and Stoned Pants or something like that. And he's like a 7'4" center, that can't move or nothing. He's just like all defense and blocking and stuff. But just in the fun of the NBA finals and stuff, he's been kind of playing that. But I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I thought about checking out the Diablo Immortal, but I keep hearing mixed reviews about that game, about like there's paywalls that's at the end and stuff. But that's it. I'll be back in like 1 second here. Jesus, I got something I got to take care of.
Oh, right.
That's all I've been playing, though. So if you want to work on the news, I'll be right there.
It's news time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm moving on to some news now. First piece of news that I have here is Boeing news. It says here, after 2.5 years of delays, Boeing's Starliner capsule successfully docked with the International Space Station the other day. It was an important milestone for the company that has, at least in popular imagination, struggled to catch up with SpaceX. So they decided to celebrate a successful mission. And when the crew of the ISS opened the hatch to the Starliner, they found a surprise inside the spacecraft. Floating next to the Orbital Flight Test 2 seated test dummy was a plush toy representing Jebediah Kerman, one of the 4 original Kerbal-nauts featured in Kerbal Space Program. He is better known by the KSP community, who he has served as the Flight Zero G indicator. Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin took a small doll with him on the first ever human spaceflight, and ever since it has become a tradition for most of the space crews to carry plush toys with them to make it easy to see when they've entered a microgravity environment. So yeah, that's kind of cool. They kind of give a little bit of a nod to Kerbal Space Program there. And it's obviously that the people, it's obvious that they're playing this game. They're playing Kerbal, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys want to learn about flying rockets into space, play that game. That game is kind of fun. You build your rockets, you launch them into space, see how far you can get them. And you can go pretty far. I mean, getting to the moon is one milestone, but you can get even further than the moon. You can get to like Mars, the sun. You can get to other planets even further than that. In other news, the FTC is now looking to crack down on influencers and platforms over fake and manipulated reviews. That's right. In 2019, the Federal Trade Commission issued a friendly, easy-to-understand digital booklet called Disclosures 101 for Social Media Influencers. This was designed to help streamers and influencers understand when and how to disclose their promotional relationships with companies. Now it looks like the FTC is preparing to draw a hard line against stealth advertising and endorsement disclosure, as it has voted to consider updating its guidelines against fake and manipulated reviews. The FTC has been battling against deceptive online advertisement for years. In 2015, for instance, it settled a case against Machinima Inc. over its failure to disclose the fact that it was paying its influencers for promotional videos. A year later, WBIE settled similar charges related to a Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor promotional campaign. The ongoing problems helped prompt the creation of the Disclosures 101 primer, but the endorsement guidelines underpinning it were last updated in 2009. And it says here it's a pretty big span of time since they came out. Thus, the FTC has now proposed changes to its guidelines that reflect the extent to which advertisers have turned increasingly to the use of social media and product reviews to market their products. The proposed changes do not just target the influencers. The notice of the recommended revision also includes a warning to social media companies that their influencer tools may not be adequate to meet any legal requirements, which opens them to potential liability. It also says that companies making use of consumer reviews and promotional materials should not distort or misrepresent what people actually think of their products. Micro-targeting specific audiences will also come under greater scrutiny under the proposed new rules. It says here, an example is a social media advertisement promoting a cholesterol-lowering product features a testimonial who says by how much they lowered their serum cholesterol. The claim reduction greatly exceeds what is typically experienced by users of the product, and a disclosure of the typical result is required. The marketer has been able to identify from online data collection Spanish-speaking individuals with high cholesterol levels who are unable to understand English, and micro-targets a Spanish language version of the ad to them, disclosing the typical results in English. The adequacy of the disclosure will be evaluated from the perspective of the targeted individuals. Also, child-directed advertising is being highlighted as a special concern because many children react to advertisements and influencers differently than adults, regardless of any disclosures that's made. So yeah.
So yeah, it just sounds basically like they're going to just kind of change the way some of our reviews can be. Maybe get rid of some fake reviews and misleading reviews. Yeah,
like Mayo's video game. It's the best video game ever made, guys. Go play it.
My Name is Mayo is the best video game it's ever played. There's now a third one out on Steam. We have made 3 of those games. So if you've never played it, great clicker. My Name is Mayo. Play it.
Kojima Productions has to clarify it still likes Sony after a fanboy implosion. That's right. The other day, Mayo, was it Saturday? Hideo Kojima made an appearance at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, announcing a new partnership between Kojima Productions and Xbox Game Studios. Kojima says that this is a completely new project, and I've waited a very long for the day when I could finally start to create it, he said.
Yeah, he said he was excited. I remember seeing that because I remember thinking it was kind of funny. He was like, "Oh, I always dreamed of creating this game. This is the game I've always wanted to create."
Well, didn't he say that about Death Stranding?
That's what I was going to say. He said the same thing about Death Stranding. So it's like
maybe he has a lot of dreams, Mayo.
Yeah. I got a feeling you're probably correct on that one.
He probably has a lot of dreams on games he wants to make, okay? Okay, leave him alone, Mayo. God.
This is his new dream. And
this is the new one. This is the one that
new dream is coming to Xbox, from my understanding. And the PlayStation people don't seem to be very happy about this.
Yeah. After, Sony and Kojima Productions partnered for Death Stranding, so this pretty much brought down an avalanche of praise and scorn from Xbox and PlayStation fans, respectively. So, yeah. They signed a development contract to fund the new game's production. And they released a statement saying that signing this development contract isn't picking sides in an imaginary war. Okay? And he said this. As an independent creative studio, Kojima Productions will continue pursuing work on creations for our fans. We will explore various possibilities with games, movies, and music through platforms that evolve with time and technology. We look forward to your continued support. This was followed by another message emphasizing that the studio continues to have a very good partnership with PlayStation. So, what he said is, after the announcement of our partnership with Microsoft using the cloud tech, many people have asked us about our collaboration with Sony Interactive Entertainment. Please be assured that we continue to have a very good partnership with PlayStation as well. So, there you go.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how how he can have such influence where all they have to do is appear on the
stage
Xbox
and just say
stage,
he doesn't have to show
hey.
shit.
He didn't. He just said, "Hey, I'm excited to make this game. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and now I'm capable of doing it, or something like that." and the world is like the PlayStation world just goes nuts because I mean, what was it? Trying to do a petition to like ban like some of his stuff too. Like they're like ban Kojima now. Like there are all suddenly like anti-Kojima because he was willing to go on and make mention of a new game that he's working with Microsoft. I mean, it's just crazy.
I agree. No, yeah.
I mean, we can all have our favorite platforms, but you just sit there and say you want to ban a certain game or anything like that because it's not on your platform.
I'm never playing Death Stranding again, Mayo. Never, ever again.
Oh, no.
Hashtag not my Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, not your Kojima.
Not my Kojima. Hashtag not my Death Stranding. Hashtag not Kojima. Not my Kojima, okay? Not him. All right, at first I thought he was a genius and a visionary for making Death Stranding. Now, fuck that game. Fuck that game is trash. That game is trash game. Never play it, people. It's trash game. Fuck that game. Listen, okay, what do you think this game is going to be? All right, if Death Stranding was fucking a baby carrying simulator where you deliver...
Jesus, how could any of us even possibly know? It could be so... Who would ever thought we were playing a game that you were carrying a baby...
And you're delivering through Ghost Town...
Trying to balance your character and having signs from other people. It'd be an online game, but not an online game. And you're playing by yourself in a decimated world, and you're going through fighting shadows and things.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? I don't know, man.
He could go anywhere with this. I mean,
yeah.
He's done the military games, right? We've got the Metal Gear series. We now have the Death Stranding series, so maybe he's going to make, this is something he's always wanted to do, Jesus. So it could be, watch it comes out like a kid's game. He'll come out like a Bug Snacks game. The world will just be in shock, and then the PlayStation people will be happy again because he would make a Bug Snacks type of game, and they would just laugh at it, and then they would have their Kojima back. I don't know.
Who knows what it could be, man? It could be anything. It could literally be anything. Anything. This guy could literally...
It's going to be out there no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be different.
He probably didn't even have to show anything to them. He probably just emailed Phil Spencer, hey, this is Hideo Kojima. I have a game I want to make. I've always wanted to make it. Let me make it for Xbox. And Phil Spencer was like, fuck yes. How much money?
A cigar and like,
how much money do you need right now? We're going to sign the check right now. How much money do you want to start this?
We will have somebody hand deliver the check to you as well.
Yeah. Where are you at? I will send the Microsoft. I will send the Microsoft jet to pick you up right now. We don't care where you're at. You're in Japan. The jet's on its way. Don't worry, it'll be there.
It left 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's on its way, buddy. Don't worry. Oh shit! In other news, Diablo Immortal now has the lowest score in Metacritic history. That's right, the lowest score ever, Mayo. At the time of this writing, the PC version of the free-to-play MMO has a user score of 0.2 out of 10.
That's not bad. Oh, wow.
This is based on nearly 2,000 user ratings. Blizzard's previously lowest rated game, its 2021 re-release World of Warcraft The Burning Crusade, received a 0.5 score for adding microtransactions and a much criticized faction system. The iOS version of Diablo Immortal also has a user score of 0.5 on Metacritic. Diablo Immortal was released on June 2nd on iOS and Android and as an open beta on the PC, but quickly saw a negative reception for its heavily focused microtransactions. This included a report published during the game's opening weekend that calculated that it could cost players up to $110,000 to fully upgrade their character, Mayo.
That's all?
Blizzard has...
I'll never fully upgrade character.
Blizzard has since claimed that Diablo Immortal is, quote, the biggest launch in the franchise history. It should be noted that Metacritic user scores do not require proof that the user has even played the game before submitting a score, and that other factors such as recent Activision Blizzard controversies may have an influence on this score. Shortly after the launch, the game director Wyatt Chang claimed on Twitter that the backlash to the game was, quote, based on misinformation surrounding it. Months earlier, Chang had said, in Diablo Immortal, there is no way to acquire or rank up your gear using money. Okay, he said that a few months ago, Mayo. There's no way to acquire gear or rank up your gear using the money. However, Mayo, Diablo Immortal does let players use real money in a bid to acquire powerful legendary gems, one of the 3 progression pillars alongside regular gear and XP level, which can be used to upgrade your character in the post-game. As such, while it may be accurate that, quote, gear itself cannot be purchased with real money, some players have now labeled Chang's comment as disingenuous following the game's release. Wow.
So I have not looked into this a whole lot, but my son was saying something like once you get to end the game content, you can do like 1 raid per month, and then you have to pay to get a raid after that to do another one, and your percentage of drop on the items you want to get for those raids is really low, like a typical MMO, or a typical Diablo game where you're not going to get a guaranteed drop of the items you want. And maybe you have to run that raid multiple times to get that item. And could you imagine have to pay for each individual raid and not get the items that you want repeatedly? Like that could be frustrating.
Yeah, that could be very frustrating.
I have not played it myself. I did hear it's pretty not too many transactions until level like 40, I think, is where it kind of starts hitting the paywall. And after that, they kind of start encouraging a little more, from what I'm understanding. I don't really care for playing mobile on my phone. But
it's on PC as well.
Yeah, I thought about playing the PC one. I did look at it on their launcher. I did check out battle.net and went over there, and it is on the store. And you can play it through there, but I was like, nah. It kind of made me want to play 3, though, but then the talks of Diablo 4 coming out, you can register now for the beta for that. Kind of piqued my interest, but not if there's any kind of paywalls involved. Yeah, so be careful out there, people, because it can cost you a lot of money if you want to...
A lot of money.
Get too involved. So best for me just not even worry about it. I probably ain't even going to play it myself and not have that temptation. So it could be good. I know there's people
next week, Mayo gets oh guys, I sold the Camaro. I wanted to do some extra raids, and I sold the Camaro, and I sold. I'm also homeless. I'm in a McDonald's right now.
We're using McDonald's Wi-Fi. This is why I told Gunny to play it, because he can afford to take Hawaii trips.
Yeah, Gunny can afford this. Gunny will be like the most leveled up player in here. Gunny will be spending all his Fiji and Hawaii trips that he goes on every year on fucking Diablo Immortal.
Yeah.
Sorry, honey, we're gonna have to cancel our Fiji trip this year. I just spent $20,000 on fucking Diablo Immortal.
The good news is we won't have to miss any more flights because we'll just be staying at home.
Oh shit! In other news, Stalker 2 has now been delayed again. Now it's due out in the first half of 2023. It looks like Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl will now release the first half of 2023 for the Xbox Series X and S and the PC. The news did not come with an official statement or announcement. Rather, following Microsoft and Bethesda showcase last night, or the other night, Xbox released a tweet detailing all its upcoming games for the next 12 months. As you can see, shows Stalker 2 on the right-hand side, which denotes the game's releasing in the first half of 2023. So, yeah. Anyways, in other news here, Stalker 2, people, I guess you guys won't get your game for a while. Xbox has listed 50 games, Mayo. 50 games.
This wasn't their event, so
50.
I thought we could kind of hit up on some of them a little bit. Did you watch the whole event?
I did not watch it at all, but 50 games, Mayo. 50 games. Okay, 50 games.
I was going to ask you your opinion on some of these games. So some of these games actually looked really, really good, and some of them to me looked kind of meh. And the ones I was excited for, Jesus, myself, was the Rick and Morty game. I think it's I'm trying to remember the name of it now. It was a unique name. High on Life, I think it's the one that was called. If you look at that one up, that one looks really good. It comes out in October of this year. They did not give the exact date, but they just said October 2022.
I'm buying it. I'm in.
It looks hilarious. Like the guns talk, it has like a little trailer. Like he pulls out a knife and his name's called Stabby, and he's sitting there talking. He's like, "I love to stab people." He's like, "More violence," and he like stabs.
It's like the gun in Cyberpunk, the one that talks to you.
Yeah, and so all the weapons in the game that they shown talk. So the one shoots like a little. He just makes reference. It shoots out these little like small things with legs that run around, and he's like, "Oh, those are my babies. Don't worry, I'll make more." Like, and I don't know if they explode or what they do, but he was like, "Oh, those are my babies. I'll make more." And the guns are sitting there talking, and it just looks absolutely hilarious, and it looks like it's gonna be like a really, really good game.
Nice. Well,
another one that I think Jesus looks up your alley is alphabetical. I'm trying to see this. I don't know if this is all the games. So, that Aura History Untold. So this game kind of looks like a version of Civilization. And basically you're going to be I don't know if it's going to give you different scenarios. You're going to be able to change the different scenarios. But basically, this game looks really good. They didn't really show any gameplay or nothing. Just kind of give you a premises of what if you could change history, or you could write history however you wanted to. How are you going to write it, and how are you going to develop your civilization and kind of thing. So it looks really good. It looks like a Jesus kind of game. Some more of the stuff, they did show a video of Forza. I'll hit on both of them. Forza Motorsport. So they are coming out with the simulation version of Forza again to compete with Gran Turismo. Now bringing that back. Lots of supposed graphics improvements, damage improvements. They said, I think, they gave some kind of, trying to go off memory here, the video, they called like 40% more physics, I think, like reaction and stuff, how things are going to work and stuff like that. I wasn't excited for that as I was for, they showed Forza Horizon 5 DLC as being Hot Wheels again. They brought that back, bringing back the Hot Wheel tracks. I really liked that on the last Forza game when they did the Hot Wheels. It felt more like a Hot Wheels game than the Hot Wheels game does. So like the little bit I've seen of that game, like this game just looks really, they did a really good job on 4. And I think they're going to do it. They're just going to nail it on 5 with the loop-to-loops and the anti-gravity. And the last one had like the little speed burst things. Like when you would hit it, it would make a car go faster, and it would make you go through the loops. And it had different stuff like that. So I think they're going to do really good with that. I know they also talked about addition of Riot Games type stuff. I don't know if it's for Valorant and Teamfight Tactics and what else is there? League of Legends and stuff that's going to unlock characters on the PC. So you'll have access to all those. They showed Arc 2. I don't know if you've seen any trailers for this, Jesus, but it has Vin Diesel at the beginning of it, which is very unusual, I thought. Kind of a weird fit, because the beginning of it's sort of early in the showcase, like they show a commercial for it, and it looks like you have like a Vin Diesel character, and then you have like this other character that reminds me of is it Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like a young girl, and she's wearing like native paint, and it's like blue and stuff, and she's got a little bit longer hair, and I'm like, what is this game, And then they're like, Arc 2, and I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. I was all interested until they said Arc 2, because I thought they were maybe going to go with some kind of like single player story based game, because I seen Vin Diesel and this other character, and It looks like it's just gonna be another, updated, more modern version of Ark. So, but that's all the ones that really jumped out to me. Starfield, Jesus. I don't know if you've seen any more of Starfield or not.
No, I didn't watch this stuff. I don't know.
So the only thing they talk a lot. They show a lot of more gameplay, Jesus, and finally they showed us some stuff, and I get Mass Effect vibes. Like a lot of Mass Effect vibe, Jesus. So I think you would like it in that aspect. But I also get No Man's Sky vibes. Like it shows them like when you're going to planets, you can mine and stuff, and so like you point out like this mining gun, and it looks like it just looks like Mass Effect in that aspect with better graphics. And then they start talking about all the things that they can do in this game, and it kind of concerns me with them trying to promise too much, kind of like No Man's Sky did. Hopefully they can do it, because Jesus, they are like character customization. You can do like all these options. There was tons of options that were shown. And then you can have your ship customization. So you can build your own spaceship, Jesus, the layout of it and stuff, and make it look how you want. And then you can fly it. You can take manual control of your ship, Jesus, fly it around and do fighting and stuff like that. And then you got, of course, you can land on your planets. You get your planets, explore, and you can work on bases, and you can build like an outpost, Jesus, that's going to mine resources for you, and then you can hire somebody to stay there and man that station while you're gone, so you can continue to collect resources. And then they introduce that there's going to be like 1,000 planets that you're going to be able to explore. So to me, it just sounds really ambitious, and it worries me that they're going to give you 1,000 planets, but they're going to be very barren, and there's not going to be a lot on them. I would rather see a game with way less content like that and just focus more on the game and not leave it so like, oh, you can do this and you can be able to do that and you can be able to do this, and you're just going to have all these options, and I feel like it's like spreading the game too thin. And so, I mean, I like the ability to have all these options. I just want them to make sure they're, developing that main game and everything. So I don't know. It looks good. I mean, I think it looks great. It just, I don't know. Like it is, I feel like they're starting to promise way too much. So we'll see. Like I said, I get that Mass Effect vibe. It looks really cool, maybe with less story. But
we'll see. I don't know.
It also gives you that No Man's Sky feel to it. So yeah, we will see. I mean, I hope it really turns into a good game. They've been working on this for a while, and they keep hyping it up. So hopefully they're not overhyping it. After that, not a whole lot that really jumped out my mind. Flight Simulator, they did announce helicopters and gliders, and then they show a little trailer, Jesus, of a ship. I don't know my Halo. A ship from Halo is going to be an exclusive thing in Flight Simulator. Now you can fly. Okay. So that would be kind of cool. It'd be neat. Cool. I was thinking if they had like a Halo planet you could fly it around on, it would be kind of cool. Like how Flight Simulator is so detailed and everything, and you could fly around the planet. Like if they had like a designated Halo thing that you could fly around, it'd be kind of cool. But they just showed the ship, and they just said, that it's gonna be in Flight Simulator. It's some kind of I don't know what the ships are called. It's some kind of battleship, had the guns and stuff on it. You'll be able to fly that around.
You're gonna. You're gonna. Is it like one of the big starships?
No, it wasn't like a big ship. It was a smaller ship, but so it's like almost like it would be like a fighter ship, like a fighter jet kind of thing. I don't know what they would. Does it
look like a helicopter kind of thing, but looks like a helicopter plane sort of?
Yeah,
it's green.
Yeah, it's definitely green.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's in the show. Yeah, it's in the game too.
But yeah, so that is be able to fly around in Flight Simulator. So that'd be kind of cool. And after that, they just showed some more games. Some story-based games. They have another story-based game that looks okay if you're into that kind of thing. Those like Telltale kind of games where it's a narrative game. It's going to have a unique art style and stuff. So again, lots of options coming to Game Pass. If you're not a Game Pass subscriber, you may want to be if you have an Xbox, because a lot of games of different types are going to be out there for you soon. So that's pretty much my take on the showcase. I mean, it had some good stuff. I was excited to see the content for Starfield. Like I said, it does give me Mass Effect vibes, but it also gives me that No Man's Kindness, and a couple other new games looked okay. I can't remember what all they were, but nothing too crazy. Just lots of games. Like I said, 50 of them. Jesus, all 50. What else we got here? Moving on, Jesus. Jesus, did you know
What's up?
Xbox Game Pass is to add game demos and streaming to their own titles this year? So it says Microsoft will pay developers for demos and share performance stats. Also bring the Xbox app for cloud gaming to Samsung TV. So there's another article in here we have in the notes about this as well. It says Microsoft has detailed its further ambitions for the future of its Xbox Game Pass service, as well as taking another significant step into getting its library into the hands of players without a console. Jesus. The company said it plans to introduce the new function later this year that allows Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers to play selected titles they already owned via cloud streaming, even if they are not part of the Game Pass library. So we're going to be able to play some of the games that we own that are not part of Gamecast in the streaming, which would be kind of nice. It says Microsoft has teased what it refers to as Project Moorcraft, a collection of demos for upcoming games that will be exclusive to Xbox Game Pass members. This news follows Sony's, revelation earlier this year about the PlayStation Plus Premium, and basically, I think it's Microsoft's kind of answer to the PS subscription thing.
The demo thing, because PlayStation says here that they have mandated, Mayo, some mandates. If you are on PlayStation making a game for PlayStation and it's coming out on PlayStation, if your game is more than $34, Mayo, on their PlayStation Store, you must make a demo that's a minimum 2-hour demo for that game. And players will get access that are premium, will get access to that demo for free. So
that's kind of an interesting take. I mean, as a developer, could that be off-putting in a way?
In a way, I would say, yeah. I mean, what if your game is 4 hours long and now you have to make it playable for 2 hours minimum? That means somebody's played your game for half of the way through it.
You would have to
for
consider
free,
lowering the price and making it like $29.
Or yeah.
So you wouldn't have to do a demo.
Like right underneath the 30. My game is not 34. My game is $39.98, guys.
I mean, yeah.
I'm under the threshold.
I mean, the other thing too is, I guess, it's going to give you the opportunity to play the games more. But I feel like Sony's almost using these developers saying, "Hey, you guys have to do these demos," and that's what's going to sell their tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then Sony's going to try and be like, well, we have all these demos you can play here before you buy the games. So Sony's going to try to use these developers in a way. If I'm a developer, that's how I would feel. Like, okay, we're going to use you to make demos. And so people will subscribe to our cloud service or whatever it is you want to call it, our subscription service. That's going to allow people to play these demos, but we're going to make you make a demo for it in a way. You know what I mean? It's kind of off-putting, like if you're a developer. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
In my opinion, because I mean, I'm not trying to be biased here, but like, I just feel like if you're making a game or whatever, and Sony tells you have to make a 2-hour demo, that could be good or bad. I mean, it could be good too. I gotta get your game out there, but it also tells they're making money off you having to make demos.
Yeah.
But you also use their platform, so it's like hit or miss, So I get it, but
like that's like a big leverage they have. They got their biggest leverage that PlayStation has is we have 100 million PS4s out there. Like, you want access to those? All right, you're gonna have to make a demo for us, motherfucker.
Right.
If you want to charge more than $34 for your game, you want to sell your game for $40 because you think it's worth $40, but All right, make a demo for it then. Like, damn, okay. Now I wonder if is that going to change how indie games are now priced? Is it going to make it like where we now see indie games instead of being priced $10, $15, $20, $25, are indie games going to be like, okay, the new low bar is $30 now?
Yeah, it very well could.
Yeah. Says here that people that participate in this new program for not for Sony, but for Microsoft, which is called Project Morecraft, that the studios that do participate in this demo program will be able to see how their demos perform, like how many people are playing them, and they will be paid by Microsoft per how many players play their demos, Mayo. Also, Microsoft is teaming up with Samsung to bring Xbox app to 2022 smart TVs. This will enable Game Pass Ultimate subscribers to play titles via the cloud, while non-subscribers can use it to play Epic Games Fortnite for free on their Samsung TV. Dude, Fortnite's fucking, like, that's crazy. Like, you can play Fortnite for free.
Anywhere.
On a TV now? Like, just anywhere? Like, just on a TV?
You don't need any console. You can just they'll probably just have a Fortnite app, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming. It says here the Xbox app will be available in the Samsung Gaming Hub or the Media Hub from June 30th and will work with any Bluetooth controller. That includes PlayStation controllers.
June 30th of 22? That's right around the corner.
Yep.
Wow.
And it will include any Bluetooth controllers. So that includes Joy-Cons, PlayStation controllers, Xbox controllers, and like any other third-party controller you may find on Amazon or some shit. I don't know. This news follows the recent reports that it had shelved a low-cost Xbox cloud gaming device codenamed Keystone, following reports that such a product could launch later this year to grant access to Game Pass without any console. Elsewhere in this announcement, the company announced beta tests for Xbox Cloud Gaming are now coming to New Zealand and Argentina. It also detailed Xbox and Game Pass related functionality coming to Microsoft Windows and its internet browser Edge, as well as new options for controller customization service with their new with their Xbox Design Labs. So yeah, that's kind of pretty significant for Microsoft to be able to bring these demos to players. Yeah.
That's kind of neat. Like, I never thought I'd see a day where you could just have a TV and then have a console have an app. Like you can just launch the app and you have access to your Game Pass library or a game library of any form. I think that would be really nice. So, like my TV not have to worry, like I have an LG OLED. That technology, I'm assuming will probably come toward the OLEDs here pretty soon too, because pretty decent pricey TVs, and they've always had the gaming support. They've had the FreeSync and the 120 hertz and all that stuff. So I could see them maybe getting this here soon too, and I could just maybe not even need my Xbox anymore. Jesus, I could probably get rid of my One X, and then just maybe have an app and just launch my games off the app, and then and continue right on my PC in my bedroom. It
just kind of sucks that it's not included. It sucks that they made a deal with Samsung and not like LG, because LG makes really good. They really make, like, that's what I have. Like they make really good OLEDs and shit. So kind of sucks that Samsung is the one they went with for me.
It could be right around the corner. Same here, but it could be right around the corner.
It definitely could be. It could be like a 1-year exclusive deal with Samsung, and then now we're bringing it to all TVs like Vizio and LG and whatever other brands like TCL. Like those cheaper TVs or whatever.
Right.
You could bring it to those because those TVs are cheap, man. You go to the fucking Target or Walmart or any store really, and you can find TCL TVs for like fucking $400, and it'll be like a fucking 60-inch TV.
I think it would almost be huge if they could land something by the holiday this year, because it's still kind of like new console time. Like people are still buying new consoles. This would be the second holiday for the new console. And could you imagine right now, Jesus, if they just did a push on all these TVs that had built-in Xbox into them? Basically in their mind, even though it's just an app, they have access. If they could start selling TVs with the Xbox app in them, that would make a drive for them. And they could maybe sell a lot of TVs this holiday and get a lot of Xbox Game Pass subscriptions out there. Maybe people that don't have it already.
Instead of selling consoles, you're selling TVs now.
So I could even maybe see this just being like a couple month thing.
On Black Friday, dude, if they get that out by Black Friday when everyone goes to buy a TV usually, that's big, you know.
Or they better get a lot of Samsungs out there. And can you imagine having a cheaper version of a Samsung where it wouldn't have to be one of their...
You know what's next after this? You know what's next after they get this Game Pass thing on like TVs? You know what's next? Like during say you're doing
it's already on phones. Yeah.
No, like say you're watching the Super Bowl, right? Microsoft is going to do this. I'm telling you it's going to happen. They're going to drop a commercial in the middle of the Super Bowl while everyone's watching it and say, right now after this commercial, on our app, on your TV, you can launch this game and play it right now. Right now. Don't have to wait. You can play this brand new Madden or this brand new like cool looking ass shooter game or whatever it is, Call of Duty or anything, right now on your TV via the cloud after this commercial is done. In 60 seconds. Yeah. We're going to update the app in 60 seconds. This commercial is done. You update your app and this game is available to you right now. Like that's going to be a thing now where like you don't have to wait anymore. They're going to be at like showing like this conference, right? They're going to be like on this conference. They're going to do conferences now and be like, all right, you see this conference? You see this game? It's available right now. Like just go stream it. Go right now. Go fucking stream it. You can stream it right now if you want. You got to do nothing else, man. Just click on this link and it takes you right to the game. That's going to be dope. In other news, Mayo, Microsoft and the Communication Workers of America have announced a labor neutrality agreement that would go into effect 60 days after the closure of the Xbox makers' pending acquisition of Activision Blizzard. This agreement will provide a pathway for Activision Blizzard workers to exercise their democratic rights to organize and collectively bargain after the close of the Microsoft acquisition and establishes a high-road framework for employers in the game industry. Microsoft's binding commitments will give employees a seat at the table and ensure that the acquisition of Activision Blizzard benefits the company's workers and the broader video game labor market. The agreement addresses CWA's previous concerns regarding the acquisition, and as a result, we support its approval and look forward to working collaboratively with Microsoft after this deal closes. This deal applies only to Activision Blizzard employees and consists of 5 provisions. Provision 1 says Microsoft will take a neutral approach when employees covered by the agreement will express interest in joining a union. Clause 2 says covered employees will be able to easily exercise their right to communicate with other employees and union representatives about union membership in a way that encourages information sharing and avoids any business disruptions. 3. Microsoft will have access to an innovative technology-supported and streamlined process for choosing whether to join a union. And 4. Employees can maintain confidentiality and privacy of that choice if they wish. And 5 says, if a disagreement arises between the CWA and Microsoft under this agreement, the two organizations will work together promptly to reach an agreement and will turn it to an expedited arbitration process if they cannot. So it says here, earlier this month, we announced a set of principles that will guide our approach to labor organizations, and the Activision Blizzard acquisition is our first opportunity to put these principles into practice, the Microsoft president and vice chair Brad Smith said. They said, we appreciate the CWA's collaboration in reaching this agreement, and we see today's partnership as an avenue to innovate and grow together. Microsoft and the union have also said that they would try to collaborate in other ways, like working on implementing technology and skill-building programs for the U.S. labor force to enhance the country's competitiveness. So it says here, last month, Activision Blizzard QA employees at Raven Software voted to form the first United States union at a major AAA publisher. While Activision Blizzard management made it clear it wanted no part of a union from the start of the Raven QA team's push, Microsoft has now taken a less strident approach during this period where its acquisition of the publisher has been announced but not yet finalized. In March, Microsoft said it will not stand in the way if Activision Blizzard chose to recognize the Raven QA union prior to any unionization votes. After the vote, Xbox head Phil Spencer said that the company would absolutely support a union that was in place at the time of the acquisition being finalized. That's kind of interesting, man. That, is that a way for Microsoft to entice developers and game makers to actually start trying to join Activision Blizzard, knowing that they might be unionizing and they might have a union that they will be working under and have union protections and all that. Because with union protections, it comes with being part of a union. I'm part of a union, but being part of a union, you get guarantees in terms of money, but you also get like protections such as like how much an employer can work you, how much, how long you're working overtime, how long you're there.
That could be a big one for developers.
Exactly.
All we hear about is
crunch.
The crunch, and so, I'm as well, I have a union at my work. We kind of work for the same company, but, we have limitations of like, the maximum they can work is a 12-hour day, so you can know, worst case scenario, 12 hours, no matter how bad work is or how far behind they are, you only have to be there 12 hours,
Yeah.
So that could be huge just as a developer. You could look at that and be like, okay, well, crunch is bad.
Crunch
if
is
it's
bad.
as they say it is, so they could get relief from that, and that could be very enticing.
Very, very enticing. That's cool, man. And it's cool to see Microsoft kind of like being like, you know what, we're kind of just do it, like, okay, fuck it. Like, if they decide they want to be part of a union, let them be part of a union. We'll let them do it, and we're not going to stand in the way. So that's cool, and we'll see what happens there, man. Because I think at this point it might just happen, right? Because, I mean, it sounds like at least a part of their team or some part of their team, their QA team, apparently, they wanted to unionize. And it's probably the QA team that probably gets worked a lot, because they have to sit there and play the fucking game broken and find the bugs, and they're trying to break the game, so they're probably putting tons of hours and work and time into like trying to break a stupid game. Can you imagine playing the same level 20,000 times, Mayo? Like the same fucking level, you're just playing
I know, right?
over. You're not playing the whole game, you're playing the same fucking level. You're like, God fucking A, I hate this fucking level. like everything, you can speed run it in 2 seconds or whatever, it's kind of crazy. In other news, Todd Howard, Mayo, that guy, Todd Howard, has now confirmed to IGN that Fallout 5 will be a Bethesda Game Studios' next game after The Elder Scrolls 6, which itself will follow after Starfield in 2023. So we're going to get Starfield 2023, then The Elder Scrolls 6, and then Fallout 5. He said, yes, The Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production, and we're going to be doing Fallout 5 after that, so our slate's pretty full going forward for a while. We have some other projects that we look at from time to time as well. So there you go, man. Fallout 5. It's been confirmed. Confirmed, Mayo. Fallout 5 is confirmed. 10 years out from now.
That's all.
Mayo, let me tell you something, Mayo.
Okay.
Did you ever watch that show Squid Game on Netflix?
I did not sit down and watch it, but my kids watched it where they were here. So I walked in and I know the story of it.
The premise is 100 people that owe money or like are in debt get picked like randomly around the world, or in the story, I think it was Japan or Korea that they were in, and they got picked up in the street or whatever, chosen, and then they had a choice to join the Squid Games to be able to make like what, like $20 million or whatever. If you won, you got $20 million or something. Mm-hmm. Mayo. All right, Mayo, I got a proposition for you, Mayo. What if I say, Mayo, you can win $4.5 million, Mayo? $4.5 million. Oh, you're listening. Oh, Mayo's listening, people. He is listening. Let me tell you this. This is just announced like 2 hours ago, Mayo. Netflix is bringing the global phenomenon Squid Game to life with the biggest reality competition series ever. Squid Game, The Challenge, with both the largest cast and the lump sum cash price in reality TV history. 456 real players will enter the game in pursuit of a life-changing reward of $4.56 million US, as they will compete through a series of games inspired by the original show, plus surprising new additions. Their strategies, alliances, and character will be put to the test while competitors are eliminated around them. The stakes are high, but in this game, the worst fate is going home empty-handed. Recruitment is now open, Mayo, at squidgamecasting.com. For this round, the frontman is in search of English language speakers from any part of the world. They said, quote, Squid Game took the world by storm with director Hwang's captivating story and iconic imagery. We're grateful for his support as we turn the fictional world into a reality in this massive competition and social experiment, said Brandon Rigg, the Netflix vice president of unscripted and documentary series. He said fans of the drama series are in for a fascinating and unpredictable journey as our 456 real-world contestants navigate the biggest competition series ever, full of tension and twist, with the biggest ever cash prize at the end. The 10-episode competition series is a co-production between Studio Lambert and The Garden, part of ITV Studios, and will be filmed in the United Kingdom, Mayo. There you go. It says here the scripted drama Squid Games holds the record as Netflix's most popular series of all time, with over 1.65 billion viewing hours in the first 28 days after the September 2021 premiere. So, Mayo, I went to the website, Mayo, and it is here. It says on the website, with the largest cast in reality TV history, 456 real players will enter the game in pursuit of a life-changing cash prize of $4.56 million. Do you have what it takes to win the Squid Game? You know, so you can sign up, man. It says U.S. casting, UK casting, and global casting.
It's interesting, I guess. I mean, I guess more viewers. I mean,
so I'm on the website. I'm on the application, Mail. I need your first name, your last name, your email, your cell phone, your birthday. Yeah. I need your residence, your state that you're in. I know that. Your nationality. I need you to make a password. And you need to upload a video. It says here, upload a 1-minute video telling us about yourself and why you want to be on the Squid Game, the challenge, what your game plan would be, and what you would do with the huge cash prize if you won. If you have any problems with creating a video to upload, please email support@squidgamecasting.com. And it says here you have to upload at least 2 recent photographs of yourself with no hats or sunglasses. And, yeah. What are the terms of use here? They say, can they kill you? I want to see this. All right, Mel, you must be 21 years old to enter.
Check.
Okay. Okay. What else? That's a lot of it. This is like just a regular looking disclaimer. Nothing crazy looking here, Mel. Okay. All right, well, looks pretty good. You pretty much sign your rights away to sue them if you get hurt or anything like that. Yeah, looks good. Looks good, Mel. You want to sign up? Let's go, Mel. Me and you. Let's go to the Squid Games, Mel. Come on, man. We could just get Gunny in there too. We'll all team up.
Yeah.
HGP gang in the Squid Games. Let's go. 400. Come on, how hard can it be, Mel? 456 players. Come on, we could outlast at least 350 of those fuckers. I don't know about the last 106. That might be a little too hard, but we can try, Mel. All right, we just got to outlast 453 players because if we don't count ourselves, that's 453 people we got to take out.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Mayo. Let's sign up, bro. $4.5 million, Mayo. Come on.
Yeah, sounds like a good time. I probably have to fly out somewhere to do this recording. I wonder where it's at.
It's in the UK.
In the UK?
Yeah, they're gonna
both have to fly out.
We're gonna fly to the. They'll probably fly us out there. You know, they'll pay for it. No.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Europe anyways. So.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. So yeah, this is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. So apparently they are making the Squid Games TV series, and
yeah, go sign up, people.
Go. I want our listeners to sign up for real. Like, if you sign up for this, if you're crazy enough to sign up for some shit like this, let us know you signed up. And if you get casted or if you get picked, let us know because I'll be rooting for you the whole time.
You know who would be a good one to go?
Who?
Would be Bill Gardner.
Listen,
the
Bill.
Lord. We
Listen.
can send the Elden Lord.
Listen, Jonathan Hall. Listen,
Yeah, Jonathan. There you go.
Jonathan Hall and Bill are going to be in there fighting each other for the $4.5 million. Oh, man, that's kind of cool. I want to go, too. Fuck. All right, man. That's it, man. I mean, Squid Games is happening. The world has got fucked up enough where they're like, okay, we could do this in real life now. let's just do this now. But yeah. Yeah, man. That's kind of cool.
Times.
I like the show. It was kind of cool. So it's kind of cool to see that they're keeping it going, I guess. It's probably going to be super popular. So there you go, Mel. That's the biggest news for today.
Yeah.
Also, there's a season. There's
okay.
a season 2 of the Squid Games coming as well, like an actual season 2 of the show. But, yeah, it was renewed for season 2 on June 12th. But today they announced that they're also making this real life reality TV show. So yeah, there you go.
Moving on, Jesus, over to Gunny's console corner. I don't think anything has really changed since last week, right?
Nothing's changed. No.
I just see like on the listing here, he's got God of War PS4. That's intriguing. I mean, I own a PC now, but
Yeah.
I did see I guess he got a couple of days here. Steam is actually giving away Ark. If you've not ever had the first Ark, it's been around forever now, but it's on Game Pass as well. But I do know Steam's giving away Ark. That's probably the only change from last week that would be notable.
Yeah. Okay.
And then too, on the community questions, I know last week you guys could not find them on Facebook. I had some from the week before, so I kind of threw a couple of those in there. So some of these questions might be a week old, but I just wanted to be able to get to them. A lot of them from Brian Telp Jr. And Brian's first question, he says, "Are you going to get that new Turtle game that comes out this week?"
What fucking turtle? Like a Ninja Turtle game? No.
Yeah, so
no.
it's like a Turtles in Time game, side-scrolling beat 'em up, I believe. It is coming to Game Pass, so we will get it.
We'll get it, but I'm not buying it. Why the fuck would you buy that if it's coming to Game Pass?
He did say that he ordered it, and I don't think he knew it was coming to Game Pass. I think it was just announced.
Well,
But,
that sucks. That would suck to like buy it and then be like, oh, it's coming to Game Pass now.
I wonder if he was able to refund it fast enough after Ryan told him it was coming to Game Pass. He might have been able to. Or maybe he just wanted to support it. He did say it was one of the only 4-person cabinet games that he never beat. I have beat that actually. The place I like to go to, there's like these video game bar arcade places, and a lot of them, because all the games are free, and so those quarter munchers like that where you die a lot and you're putting a lot of quarters in, like Double Dragon, Turtles in Time, stuff like that, you can play them for free, so you can just put unlimited credits in and just keep going as long as you got drinks and stuff going on. So I actually have played all the way through the Turtles in Time game on the arcade. Good time. It gets kind of old after a while, but it actually be probably more fun to sit and play in the living room than sitting there hitting the buttons over and over in an arcade, standing there. After a while, you get kind of tired of standing and playing, where, you can just sit down and play. But I'll definitely check it out. I'm excited to play it. I like those kind of games. I think it'll be fun. Not a Jesus game. I don't feel like those little side-scrolling beat-up games.
I don't care much for them.
You're too young to enjoy those games, I think.
No. I had some on my Nintendo. Like when I had my Nintendo when I was a kid, I had a few of those. Even my Sega, dude, I had some of those side-scroller games.
I don't know. I think a lot of those games were just so, like, the arcade is what made them games. Like, I remember going and playing them in the arcade, and they were so fun and so addictive because you just kept pumping quarters into them. That's what they were designed to do, you know what I mean? You would die pretty quick, and you just give it another quarter, give it another quarter, and you keep on playing, kind of thing. But yeah, so it would be kind of fun to go back and relive that again and to see if it's like a modern take on it. So Brian also wants to know, Jesus, what's your go-to food to cheer you up?
I love tacos.
Tacos. I like some good tacos too.
Tacos are bomb, man. They cheer me up all the time. Tacos are the shit. All kinds of tacos. Carnitas tacos, carne asada tacos, chicken tacos.
We have a couple of restaurants here I like to go to that are like, I call them expensive tacos. Maybe you wouldn't, Jesus, but they're like $5 a piece.
Oh, that's expensive
like
tacos.
But they're like all really fresh ingredients. And they're really good, but they get kind of pricey, because they're not real big. They're kind of small, and so it's like 3 bites and the taco's gone, and it's like $5, and then next thing you know,
there's a few places like that I've been to where like the food is supposed to be like health food, so they fucking charge the shit out of you for it or whatever, and it's
you can
good.
definitely tell these are fresh. Like the tomatoes very fresh, and they just they taste.
I mean,
really
those
good.
are good, but I always like a good taco from like a fucking just a Mexican ass taco place, man, or like a Mexican music blaring. No one really understands what you're saying. They understand what you're saying in English because all you're saying is tacos, and they understand that much, but none of the cooks in the back really know English. You see the waiter or the person who took your order going back there and telling them in Spanish.
That really authentic.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want some fucking... Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, authentic stuff. For me, I don't think there's really, never really had food cheer me up. Like I've never had anything big going,
ice cream.
I'm in a mood. I actually do not like ice cream, so I'm not an ice cream person.
Man. Ice cream is good.
I'm not the one that sit down and eat a bowl of ice cream like the cliche, So I don't know.
What about like candy or something? I don't know, man.
No, I mean nothing really like to sit and cheer me up. Like if I was in a depressed mood, going, I would be like this. Maybe a good steak or something like that. But I don't know if it'd even cheer me up. I can have times where I crave a good steak, where I want to go out, but I can't think of anything that could actually like cheer me up. Like
yeah.
Moving on. Darren Hilton, he said he wants to know. He says, at what point do we start riding bikes to work, or buying a go-kart, or maybe riding a lawnmower with these gas and diesel prices?
Pretty soon, I feel like.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to do that because I work so far away from my house. Like literally,
likewise.
Like I work I have to drive to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 towns or cities to get to my work, and then 7 if I include Portland, where my work is at. I pretty much have to drive through all of it, like across the entire city to get to the other side to where my work is. So, I mean, it would be a long bike ride. It would be like a 3-hour bike ride or something, dude. It would be a long bike ride, man. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It would probably take at least 3 hours.
Yeah, I think I live a little bit further away than you. I think we talked about this off air before, and like my drive is about 80-mile round trip. About 40-mile one way.
That's a long way, dude.
It's a long bike ride or a scooter ride. I don't know. I have seen, though, the funny as it is, I have seen, I remember driving downtown one time, though, like 2 weeks ago. There was a guy at a convenience store with a lawnmower, like parked to the side, like in the car parking spot. It was like a riding lawnmower. And I'm like, had to do a double take. I was, okay,
This is probably went to go get some beer or something.
I do know, like in Florida, golf carts are the thing. That probably wouldn't be so bad. I think golf cart would probably be my first option, at least, because those are just electric too. You can just charge it and go, and then just not go far, just to town and back, whatever. Because I know myself. I have not gotten the Camaro out as often because it gets a little pricey.
I want to
drink, I guess.
I want to get my motorcycle endorsement. I really do. So I think I'm going to sign up for a class because in Oregon you have to take a class to get your endorsement or whatever for like a few days. You have to take like a class to learn how to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, you got to do the same thing in Ohio. You got to get a motorcycle's license, but you got to take classes beforehand.
Yeah, so it's like a 2-day class, 4 hours each day. They teach you how to ride the motorcycle, and they pretty much just want to make sure you don't gonna fucking crash the first time you get on one and kill yourself. So they kind of teach you about them or whatever, and then so I'm gonna go do that. And I want to get a motorcycle, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. I would probably only ride it honestly, 3 3 or 2 months out of the year because it's every other fucking.
Yeah, you're gonna be limited because you got the cold weather there.
Yeah,
too,
it's
so
always raining here too, man. Like you don't want to fucking ride a motorcycle in the rain, dude. Like, can you imagine that? Fuck that. I've seen people do it though. I've seen people out there riding motorcycles in the fucking rain. I'm like, you're crazy, dude. That would suck. That would suck like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I remember thinking about stuff like that the other day. I went to this hypercar show. Like they showed like the most prestigious cars in the world. You know, like these cars were nuts. I did watch a video on this one Bugatti they had there, and there's only 40 of them, and it's valued at $8 million.
Yeah, I saw it.
But right beside it, they had another McLaren, and this McLaren is called an Elva, and it's the weirdest looking car. Jesus, it has no front windshield, and I was watching it thinking, that's crazy. It looks like a Hot Wheels car for one thing, but without a front windshield on it, like the bugs hitting you in the face and debris. Can you imagine just going down the road and something getting kicked up off a car and just hitting you in the head? You know,
rock.
Yeah, you get a stone chip in your windshield, okay. But you can imagine getting a stone hit you in the face, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's such a weird concept. It just made me think of that about the motorcycle thing is, you know, you're going in the rain, you know, the rain hit you. It hurts and bugs hurt. Like you ever have your arm out the window of your car and you get hit by a bug? That can sting. Yeah. You know, you're doing it on a motorcycle, it's completely different. But yeah, that car is kind of wild. It didn't have any kind of front windshield.
That car is fast. It has 815 horsepower.
Yeah. The other one I looked at, they had all these cars there. So they had these $1 million cars. There's $100 million in cars at this event I was at here in Columbus, Ohio. And it was called The Event, too. They have a big YouTube channel up on it. There's some guys that live here in Dublin that have $40 million in hypercars. And so they kind of put on the event. And so they had like 40 or 50 McLarens there. And they had Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all that kind of stuff was there. So getting to see it all in person was kind of neat. Maybe we want to go home and play go play Turismo or Forza. You know, like to jump in those cars and be like, oh, look at me, I'm driving one of these. I just saw one today. But it just is crazy amount of money on cars. Like I said, that one car was $8 million. You know, like $8 million in one car. It's a Bugatti Diva or Devo or something like it. They call it. It was 1,500 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque.
Yeah, that one McLaren that you were talking about cost 1.6 million, 1.69 million, and that doesn't include like taxes, any options you can add to it, and like the cost to ship it to where you're at.
Yeah, and
you have to wear a helmet while driving it. You were like a motorcycle.
But it comes with, if you watch this one video on it, it comes with a pair of sunglasses you can put on. They're like goggles. They're cool. Like you can put on in like a little aviator style goggles you can put on while you drive in case you forget your sunglasses.
I'd rather wear
You're still going to get hit in the face with something.
I'd rather wear like a motorcycle helmet or something as I'm riding that fucking thing around.
It actually has storage in the back for one helmet. Like,
there you go.
That's it. You get one spot.
Sorry, dude. Sorry to your passenger.
You just got to wear it all the time. You can't leave it like...
Sorry, dude, you're going to have to wear this helmet.
That's what you get for $1.5 million. I don't know. But just the last question, Jesus, we got one more from Brian Phillips Jr. He says, do you think any of the arcade units are worth the cost, or would you pay for a rebuilt one with all the game on it? I'm assuming he means like a rebuilt one with all the games. Like, you know, you have the ones that I know like Micro Center has ones you can build yourself. And it has like so many games on it. Like it'll have like 100 games in it. That I don't know. I mean,
I think he's talking about like the arcade one-ups, right? The ones you see like at the store or whatever. So those are like anywhere between $500 to like $1,000 or more. I mean, you can.
I'm not a fan myself. I think they look a little small. You know, like if it was maybe a full size. Like I know they're decent. Yeah. But they're still like, what are they, like 3 or 4 foot tall? Yeah. They're not quite. So you'd have to get the stand that goes underneath it.
You get the stand that goes underneath it, yeah. I mean, but they have like
I don't know about the quality of it.
They have like every... in the long run. I'm looking at their website, and they have like all the big licenses you can think of in terms of like arcade games. They got like all of them. They have like Mortal Kombat, Pac-Man. They even have a Pong one that's like it's an actual like it's not stand-up. It's like a table.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool to have.
They got that one. They have like the.
I've seen
they got the
pinball
golf
now
one.
as well.
They got the Simpsons. They got Tron. They got all of them. They got all the big ones that you can think of in terms of arcade, and they do have pinball ones as well. But how much? So I'm looking at the Star Wars one. See what the cost. So $600. It's normally $750. So you save $150.
What would a pinball machine cost? A couple thousand?
Probably. Let's look up Star Wars.
I'm gonna say vague, but probably 3,000 to 5,000. I could be way wrong. I don't know. This is off the top of my head.
So starting at 5,000, going up to 11,000. So yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't want to buy an actual pinball machine, you buy one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of money.
If you pay 5,000 for a pinball machine and if it breaks, because they do break, then how do you fix it? You gotta have somebody come out.
Yep, you gotta have like some kind of technician come out. Probably somebody that probably just does that for a living. They work on pinball machines or something. Like you gotta find the one guy in your city or your state that does that. Have him
that guy's making money. I remember when I was a kid, I worked in a grocery store and they had these new cash registers, and that was back when they had the ones that were like. Not the old school where you had to put a price on it. It just had the scanners, like your typical cash register now. These things, this guy had come out, and he was the only guy in Ohio, for the most part, that would work on these ones. And so he had to come to our store and work on them. And I can't remember what the hourly rate was, but it was not cheap. And it was, can you imagine getting to be that one guy, you get to come and work on that piece of equipment, and you're one of the few guys that know how to work on it.
Well, on my old job, there was this machine that we used. It was a lathe. It was a Harding. I don't know how you pronounce the name, but it was a lathe. It was a big machine. That was a machine, cut metal and shed bars or whatnot to pieces. You can mill shit with it. And I know that for a fact that machine, every time it broke down, they had to pay this one guy. He was the only fucking guy in the state of Oregon and Washington that could do it. And they would have to pay him per hour to come out and diagnose it first and then work on it. And he was making a lot of money per hour, dude. More than $100 an hour. More than $100 an hour. Think of probably $170 an hour, not more. Plus parts and all that. Can you imagine that? That's a good thing to know, man. When you're the only person that can do the one thing and the people need that machine to make their money, they're going to pay you to fix that fucking machine. And sometimes it would take him 2 or 3 days to do it, Mayo. So he would be working on it for 9 hours one day, leave to go get parts, come back the next day, work on it for another fucking 9 hours, leave and come back the next day, work on it for another 6 hours. And that's fucking a shitload of hours worth of work, and think about how much you got paid for.
He's probably getting travel time and everything else as well.
Yeah, imagine how much money you made in 3 days just working on one stupid machine, man. That's insane. But I tell you what, he knew his shit about that machine. He knew everything about that machine. He could take it apart, put it back together, not even have to look at blueprints or nothing. He would just know everything about that fucking thing. It's crazy. Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is learn how to work on something really good, people, and be the only one that knows how to do it, and people are fucked. They have to use you. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, shit.
That's all the community questions we have, Jesus.
Nice. Well, I guess with that being said, it's time for us to leave, Mayo.
Yeah.
And you can find Gunny Chief in Hawaii if you're out there.
Go to Hawaii, guys. Find him.
Find him out there.
Pictures. I want to know if he's really there. Maybe he's just lying to us, Jesus.
Maybe
we need proof. He needs to bring us back a souvenir from Hawaii.
He
what
does.
Do you think?
Yeah, he needs to bring us. Gunny, that's your job. If you're in Hawaii, you bring us a souvenir.
He needs to validate his trip.
He needs to go on top of a volcano or something and take a picture of himself. And I don't want no Photoshop, Gunny. No fucking Photoshop, dude.
Right.
He photoshops himself on top of like a huge mountain.
I do have to throw out there. It made me think about him in his Jeep. You know, that picture you put on Facebook about the Jeep on top of the house. that was hilarious.
The one where he's like where
somebody come and get Gunny or something like that.
So like when Jeep drivers, when you tell someone's a Jeep owner, they're fucking like driving their car on top of everything, on top of a house.
Yeah, and we'll know too, Gunny. Like if we see your portrait in Hawaii, and if it's got your Jeep in the background, we're gonna be a little suspect over there. Like, how'd you get your Jeep over there, Gunny?
What if he got a Jeep as a rental because he likes Jeep so much? He
was going to the rental store when we talked to him earlier.
He was. He might have rented a Jeep. It wouldn't make sense.
Popular?
They probably are popular. Yeah, they probably are because it's warm over there. You could take the top off whenever. You just, I figured there might be. They got lots of beaches and stuff. You probably drive them on the beach. You don't want to
get stuck on the beach.
Well, maybe, but then you just grab another Jeep and have it pull it out.
Yeah. Could you see Gunny being the guy, though? Because I remember him in his story about, getting the one Jeep stuck. He'd go out there on the beach and he'd get the Jeep stuck, and he has to be the tourist that has to have his Jeep pulled off the beach.
He's a fake Jeeper. They know he's a tourist. They're like, come on, man. We know you're not from here. You drove your Jeep over there. Like
you got too close to the shoreline, so you get that wet, soft, sand where like the Jeep just sinks down into it. And just
he's like, I could do it. I know what I'm doing. He's driving out there, just gets stuck.
He's like, I have a Jeep. I own one. I got this.
Throw this fucker in 4x4 real quick. Let's go.
Then he'd be like, I don't understand. It works in Mud Runner.
Shit. Anyways, Gunny, have fun in Hawaii, but you can find him on everything as Gunny Chief. And on Twitter is Kane Marston, which is fucking like really weird, but okay. And where can we find you, Mayo?
You can find me on Discord and Steam and the Xbox app as the Mayo or the Mayo one. Just look for the logo. Same logo I have everywhere. There's a little jar of mayonnaise on the profile pic. There's not too many Mayos around there, so mainly Discord. Find me over there, or like you guys said last week, wherever you can find you guys, you're probably gonna find my name attached to you guys somewhere there. So just gonna find all three of us that way. What about you, Jesus?
Find me on everything as Jesus Walks a Lot. I'll be playing some Ready or Not for sure this week. And maybe definitely some more Battlefield. I gotta rank up that battle pass. Now I have like a commitment to this, man. Like now I have to rank up the battle pass. A list. Now I have to do these missions, and I gotta destroy that vehicle to get those points, and I gotta like revive 20 people. I got a list now. I gotta follow these missions to do now.
Maybe I should jump into a game and I'll just run around in front of you, and you can just revive me over and over. I just run out of bullets and just die, let you revive me.
Oh, man. But yeah, anyways, I'll be playing some of that, and find me on everything. And as Gidget would say, peace out, Brussels sprouts. I hope y'all have an amazing week. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there, which is it this weekend?
Yeah, the 19th.
This weekend. I know it's close to my birthday because every so often it'll fall on my birthday. So my birthday is this Saturday. I'll be turning a ripe old 31. 31, Mayo. 31 finally. You know how old I was when this podcast started? I was 22.
Wow, look at you.
I was 22. It's 9 years almost. 9 years. Oh man, that's a long time. Just crazy. You're starting to feel old. That's crazy. It's just crazy saying that. Like, it's been 9 years. It's been 9 years. I'm like that lady in Titanic where she's like, it's been 89 years. Like, it's been 9 years. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Bye, everyone. Cheers to 9 more years, man. I'll be here for another 9 more years. 9 more years. 9 more years.